What's up, dude? Hmm? Here we are, Sid and I. Hmm? You nutcase. We're talking about the pig known as the Thai government, or the situation in Thailand, rather. That's a better way of putting it. Sid, are you having fun? What do you want to do? Hmm? This is what is this? This is going to be how my stream goes from now on. Possibly, but I wouldn't. Doubtful, in my opinion. I don't know why you would, unless they got. Stop licking me, Sid. I don't need to be cleaned right now. Ow! Ow! You little fucker! You better get right. There you go. Better get right, Sid. Huh? He likes to play, and his playing, and if I don't pet him, he gets irritated. He gets really irritated, and he'll start to bite me. Picking the bugs. Fuck you. When I scratch his head, he loves it. Look at yourself in there. Look. You see you? This is you. Probably can't even see it. I'm like Dr. Evil now. Um, so lots going on here, just even from yesterday. Uh, it's a sad situation. I mean, you can still go out, you can do things, and it's not. We're not at the point where everybody walking around as zombies or anything like that. But the fact that they don't have enough vaccines here is uh, is something that's quite worrying right now. And to be honest, they're not talking about vaccinating a lot of foreigners. You call the hospital, the Thais come first. That's what they're saying. And yeah, I'm a little bit disturbed by what's going on. And again, you can go out, you can do things, but that's if you can find some things that are open. I could go to the mall. I could go somewhere, but it's a hassle, and it's not really worth it, because if you get, let's say you go through a little checkpoint, or you fly somewhere and you have the virus, then you're stuck. You're going into, if they got a bed, right? If they got a bed, you're going to go into the hospital, or you're going to go into a field hospital. So just the fact that you're out and you go through a checkpoint could mean that you're stuck for a couple of weeks. Where? Well, you want to go? You want to leave? Well, you falling? Don't bite. Don't bite. This thing is crazy, man. Crazy cat. Ow! Don't bite, man. Those teeth are sharp. You need to go. There you go. Whew. More are getting vaccinated. We are getting infected. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's like I say, you can't put lipstick on a pig. You can't continue to put it and make it sound like everything's so great here. There's a lot of people that are worried, and it's not so much the virus. That's the thing. It's not the virus. The virus is bad enough. That's a hassle in itself. It's all these implementations of rules and regulations and the changing rules, and you got to do this, you can't do that, you can't go here, you can't go there. Like I keep saying, when the solution becomes worse than the virus, and that's kind of, to me, that's how it is. Because what's going to happen when all these places that are shut down now, there's already people who are standing in line for food. And Carlos, I'm sure you know about that down there in Pattaya. And I said to my wife, I said, listen, what's going to happen when these places, people start running out of food and they don't have money and they're stuck. They can't borrow more money from people. She said, well, hopefully the rich people will help. Thai people will help each other. And I'm like, so that's where we are. And they're right on the verge of that. I hate to say that. All these people are asking me, oh, can I come over next month? You can do whatever you want. You want to come over here, as long as you meet their guidelines, it's possible to come here, but I wouldn't count on it being possible in another month or a couple of weeks. It may not be. And then you come here and you're here, and maybe they've shut the border down again, and they're like, sorry, no flights. So you can probably quit saying shut down to now closed for good for way too many. Yeah, and that is what I'm talking about. Let me catch up with the messages here. Got to catch up. Soy Dog Cowboy is here. He wants to voice his opinion. The bald-headed wonder. Let's see here. Planning a food give out for next week. Try to help as many as we can. Yeah, I mean, I think that's great. But, people don't really want to rely on that, obviously. And, sometimes you have to. Let me bring in the bald-headed wonder, Mr. Soy Dog Cowboy. SDC. I hadn't planned on streaming. And this just gets me, man. There you are.
Hey,
What's happening?
not too much. I'm gonna put on a headphone here because for some reason on my phone, StreamYard audio is very low, even with my volume completely up, and
Yeah.
I'm not sure why that is.
Well, they have some audio problems when you use their mobile device. There's some audio issues.
Is that it?
Yeah, if you use your headphones with your phone, it should work a little better, but I don't know.
Interesting. Yeah, it definitely works better with my headphones. So 1 second here, I'm gonna kind of put that. All right, that should be better. Can you hear me?
I hear you loud and clear.
All right, that's much better.
All right, so here's a question right here. I'm confused about travel restrictions. If I'm in Pattaya now, can I go to Koh Samui and Koh Tao? You may be able to go at the moment. You're going to have to be tested or show a test that shows negative, or you're going to have to be vaccinated. Are you vaccinated yet? If you're vaccinated, you should be able to get in, although who knows, I mean, it depends on when you go, because they may completely shut things down where you can't even go across provinces.
Yeah, and that is the issue, right? Things are so fluid right now. There is this list of 14 provinces that,
14. It's 43 now with the mask, and like 42 or something like that with if you go into their province, you're going to have to show certain things. They're what the big news is that the government is considering a targeted lockdown, which to me it seems like they're already in a targeted lockdown, but a more targeted lockdown, and they're going to have some new color coding for the provinces. But if you're going from a red zone right now to another area, and Pattaya is a red zone, you're going to have to at least show a negative test, and you may be required to quarantine.
Right,
So
and that's the issues, with traveling to Thailand in general, is that, these are all risks that you're going to have to take if you want to be here. The fact is that if you're coming to Thailand and you're going to stay in Bangkok, or you're going to stay in Pattaya or Chiang Mai or any of those places, you could do that, but you'll be sitting there. If you want to move around,
here's the thing.
that's a problem.
Be More Ron said he only did a quick 10-day quarantine, but that was a while ago. Your quarantine's over. I mean, it's been over for a while. You didn't just get done with the quarantine and then go. So I don't know, because once once you're out and about in Pattaya and you're running around Pattaya, and then you want to go somewhere else, I think you're still going to have to do another quarantine. So if you go to Samui and you don't have a vaccine, but you quarantined before, but you've been out in Pattaya for say 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever, a month, you're still going to have to quarantine. And that's the thing. It's changing so fast. I don't know what the deal is right at the moment, but that was the deal before, is that when you cross from a red zone into another area, you have to quarantine at least 7 days. So here's a brilliant question. Do I need to wear a mask at a Soapy? Well, I guess if you can get into a Soapy, then no, you don't have to wear a mask. However, the Soapies are closed, so you're not going to be able to get in there.
Right, exactly. And that's, again, so many things are going to be like this. More things are closed and will close down. I know they want to keep the malls open, but if these numbers start to increase exponentially, I could see them shutting those down too. If it gets out of hand, they're trying to save what little economy they have left, and keeping those malls open is a good example of them trying to do that. But
you know what? They are really pissing a lot of people off about this, because people are worried. People are getting scared that their huge businesses, their small business, all their businesses, it's like, oh, well, we have to shut down. Now what do I do? Well, we've been patient. We've been shut down for a year, or, I've opened up once or twice just when I think things are good. I might be able to, start up again. Then it's like, oh, no, I can't. And then they're not earning money. They're still paying their staff, and they're stuck,
Well,
what I mean?
Yeah, but they'll stop paying their staff. That's the problem. They get laid off, and then there's no social safety net for those people. It's a situation that's going to snowball for everybody.
This could be, really, I mean, this can go one of two ways, and hopefully, things just turn out fine. But you see what's happening in India right now.
Mm.
And this could very easily become a very small version of India. I don't think it would get quite as bad, but it could become, similar to that on a smaller scale, much smaller scale.
I mean, hopefully these vaccine rollouts can be accelerated. I just don't.
Listen, I'm seeing what they're doing, and they're trying to negotiate deals and do this. They have a meeting on Wednesday to talk about this and to see what they can do about getting more vaccines. And, to me, it's like, well, why don't you do it right now? Not 3 days from now, because people are dying every day. And, you say what you will about the virus, but like I keep saying, if you keep shutting down restaurants and bars and pubs, and these people aren't going to come back, the entire economy is going to be completely different, and it will never be the same, and you're screwed, because what are people going to do? They'll find a way. Eventually things will work itself out. But Longhorn says I'd wait a couple of weeks before traveling within Thailand. Maybe it'll begin to get better by then. Yeah, I sure hope so. You guys,
Or maybe it'll get worse.
yeah. You guys think no quarantine entry is still good for October 1st? I believe at the moment it is, but again, it's very fluid. So this could change, Wednesday, tomorrow. It could change anytime.
Yeah.
And that's why I've been saying this for a while. It's not a good time to travel,
Yeah, and look, I'm trying to get there that date, October. That's sort of my goal. Now, again, the way things are set up now, I could get there and quarantine for 10 days and, then I'm out. The question is, do I want to? When I finally get it.
That's the thing.
Like when
do you really want to travel and do these things?
Exactly. It comes down to it. Maybe I'll come to Florida again, for another season, which is not a terrible thing. I liked it down here.
Right.
But
this guy says, have to resort to golf then. No, you won't, because the golf course is closed. All sporting grounds are closed. Sorry. The government confirmed cases don't reflect reality on the ground. Okay. Do expats not have vaccine priority on what? On base? I don't know what that means. On base, a conus?
I think it's probably a typo.
Well, I figured that,
but on.
No, you don't have a priority. In fact, you come last, and that's what irritates me. Is even when you call the hospitals, I know 2 hospitals that my wife's friend called, and they said, "Sorry, but the Thais come first."
You don't have a priority. How would you say that in Thai? Mai pi said.
Kun mai pi said.
Yeah,
you wouldn't say my EP said, but that's more like you're not special.
Special. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, how would you say you're not a priority?
Let me see here.
That's why I like to do that sometimes. Like, boy, how would I say that?
Yeah, I know, and I've become lazy, and that's one thing I told myself. Well, now's a perfect time to be studying, but you know how that goes.
Yes.
After 15 minutes, I'm like, I got shit to do. Lat Kwam, what is this? Ladap Kwam Sakai.
Oh.
Sakai. I don't know if that's the proper way to say it. But
you'll have to ask the missus.
Siti Akan. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to ask her, but yeah, she's downstairs. I'm not going down there. She's working.
Call the kid. Get the hell up here. How do you say this?
They're both sleeping. Or actually, Alex is studying. He's got a class. And Nicholas is probably asleep. Any future hard opening dates there? Just hopes. Plan for the best or worst. Anything can happen. Yeah, exactly.
Right. I mean, the more fluid you can be, the better. Now, Longhorn is like that.
Honestly, if I were you, I would sit tight. If you're going to have a birthday party, get 2 or 3 girls that you know are safe. Shack up with them and have a little party. But I would not go out partying. I wouldn't try to find a place, and I would just sit tight, man.
I agree.
I always, and I have done this from the very beginning. As long as I've been streaming, I've said this. It's all about calculated risk and risk reward. The reward of going and I'm going to go Paitio and I'm going to go do this and go do that. Listen, I hate to tell you this, but your 30th birthday party it's not a big deal. Tomorrow's just another day, and one day you're going to go, well, now I'm 40. I'm going to have my 40th birthday party. By the time you get to 50, you're going to go, fucking doesn't matter, But being alive does, and being, without the hassle that comes with going out and possibly you could be in some place that just happens to be open, and they could come around, especially if you're in Pattaya, they could come around and go, we want to make sure everybody here is safe and has been tested or whatever. Do you have the app on your phone or whatever it is? I wouldn't put it past them. And this is the thing. I try to err on the side of I go by risk reward and calculated risk. And I think the reward for going out is very limited. I just do. People will always go back to bars. Don't be dramatic. Listen, buddy, do you
They're
live here?
shut down, man. What are you talking about?
Do you live here? They're shut down. They've been shut down for almost a year, more than a year, the majority of a year. These places are not going to be open again. It's going to take time for new bars to be opened up, to people to feel confident to open new bars. So don't tell me about being dramatic, please. Do you live here? That's what I want to know.
Mr. Mitch, first of all, I got to say something. I think this haircut looks pretty damn good.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you know, I mean,
No.
I don't look at you that way.
I guess.
Well, I'm sure it looks a hell of a lot better than when you have hair.
Yes, it does,
You know?
actually. You bastard.
I mean, you know, listen, ask Chuck that if you really want to know. Don't ask me. What if the Mets make it past, make the playoffs? Are you going to wait another month?
Probably not. Probably. First of all, from your mouth to God's ears, but probably not. I'll watch it. If I can get it to Thailand and it's cool, I'll go there. Although, man, I'd love to go to a few games.
If you have a 3-week vacation, 10-day quarantine is a showstopper.
Of course it is. Yeah, that's what you talked about. When
it was 14 days, it was a showstopper, and 10 days is a showstopper.
7 days is a showstopper.
7 days is a showstopper for some people.
No one's gonna,
they may not have the time. Maybe they're going back to work in America, and people are going, "What? You want to take time off? No. You know, you must not need your job outside the continental United States." Okay. Mai Ben Kon said.
See, so we were pretty close then, right? Mai Ben Kon said, if that's correct.
You know, you can say it. That's another way of saying, just saying you're not special.
Right.
There is a word for priority, and I don't know what it is. I'm not sure of it. So,
well, you know what? I have a Thai dictionary here, but it
doesn't matter. It's not that important. It's not a might be said na. Now you're locked up, so it can't be that much of a priority.
I'll be back.
Tennis ball. I think it looks great, Soy Dog Cowboy. I will be sporting a similar one soon. Well, actually, I'm going to be shaving everything pretty soon because it's necessary.
I'm packing up. I've been like emptying cupboards here, so there's really not much left to eat in my place.
I've been working through the pandemic in the U.S. No one I know or anyone else knows anyone who got COVID. Well, that's funny because I know quite a few people. Okay.
Yeah, I know a bunch of people who got it. I mean, a bunch.
Yeah, at least a dozen.
And
okay. And I know some who have passed away.
That's the conspiracy crap I don't want to hear.
I've been doing number one buzz all around since April 2020. Saved probably $300, and it doesn't even look that terrible. Listen, I got 3 of those shavers. I was talking about it yesterday with Soy Dog Cowboy. I've got 3 of the shavers. You know, I got one that's like the the kind that the barber shop has, and I've got another one from Manscaped, and I've got another one that's it's a Remington, like an electric. You know, it's meant to just do the whole quick beard thing.
Yeah, you know.
Will be pressure on government to open things up by December. Listen, there's pressure on the government right now just to stay open, and they know they can't. Well, let's put it this way. They can keep things open, but from what they've seen, every time they start opening up and they just allow people to go and do whatever they want, the numbers go way up, and they can't afford for the numbers to go way up because of the how many tourists really want to come here? Think about this. It's only the hardcore guys who really want to come here.
Exactly. They're not tourists. Those aren't tourists.
I don't know women who are like going, God, I can't wait to get to Thailand. It doesn't matter if they, there's very, very few. There are some guys, of course, but, Yeah.
The hardcore people aren't tourists. I would love to meet like an actual tourist, like someone who's coming for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, every person that I know that it wants to come here is a guy who is going to be here long term, and by long term I mean at least 6 months, or they are going to be here basically just to be with women. They got a girlfriend, they got some bar girls that they've got on the hook, or that has them on the hook. Something's going to happen. They've got something going on, but they're not coming because they want to go see the temples and they want to go, see the attractions, because they're not open. So why would you come if that's what you're coming for?
Have you heard what's going on in Cambodia?
No, a little bit. I heard they're having some problems, but I don't know.
I mean, I haven't heard anything from Cambodia.
Yeah, I heard they were having some problems right now. Let's see here, April 2021. Yeah, they have had an increase in cases. They're up to 655 cases yesterday, which is their highest their highest in ever.
That's pretty good, though. I mean, if you think about it.
7-day average is 581. Yeah, it is good, but I don't know what the deal is with getting in there now. If they're still doing it the way that they were doing it before, which is you just give a deposit and then they withdraw the money out of the deposit to pay for a night in a hotel and testing and all that kind of stuff. But it looks like they're closing their markets. Wow. Cambodia closes markets to curb COVID-19. Thousands plead for food.
Oh, Jesus. See, I mean,
Phnom Penh went into lockdown on April 15 and has declared some district red zones, banning people from leaving their homes except for medical reasons. In a new order issued on late Friday, Phnom Penh City Hall said all markets are to be closed from Saturday until May 7th, adding that they have been seeing rising infections in markets and urging vendors and guards to get tested for COVID-19. City officials have given thousands of families who can't leave their homes 25 kilograms of rice. It's a fair amount. A box of soy sauce, a bag of fish sauce, and a bag of canned fish. Although that's not all that much. A government telegram group set up recently for people seeking emergent food aid has received thousands of requests. I and my family asked for immediate assistance in the form of essential daily food. I have completely lost my family income due to the closure of the factory and the lockdown, said Tong Meng, who has a family of 5. And this is what I'm talking about happening in Thailand.
And Scott, I mean, this brings to the point that we talked about a year ago, which is that if the government is going to do these measures, they have to have a plan in place to take care of the people like that. Okay, we're going to have a place where you can get rice and basics and diapers and whatever.
Can you imagine that, though?
Yeah, I can. I can imagine it.
I mean, listen, I will say this: they have set up several malls as vaccination places.
Good. That's good.
Yeah, and the Mall Bunkaby happens to be one of them. But if you don't have any vaccinations, what good is it?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, look, I mean, the United States is starting to send out vaccines because we have so much now, because we basically bought it up, which, hey, that's who we are. So, but I'm just talking about food and basics for people. If we're going to shut them down, got to make sure that they're taken care of.
You can't shut them down like long term. I mean, even short term, it's not good because most people are living from paycheck to paycheck, or day to day. Even here, some people, especially. Listen, I mean, I know the time when I was in the bars and stuff like that, and I used to go to Isan, and I was living in Isan. A lot of the people, they're living day to day. Do I have money to eat today? So I can only imagine how it is for some of them. But let's see here. Carlos says it was hard to get here, and if not for my wife, family, and new house, I would not have come. Exactly. But you're staying. You see, that's the difference there. Screw the temples. Delays just add to more savings. I'm here for the beaches. Listen, be honest, be more Ron. You're not here for the beaches. If you were here for the beaches, you sure in the hell wouldn't be in Pattaya. You're here for the women or a woman or something. Please.
Which, by the way, is not a bad thing.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Oh,
Um,
no,
and the
but
beaches, I understand the beaches are icing on the cake. The women are
right,
icing on the cake.
you take the
It's
women
the
to the
whole
beaches.
package. It's the whole package. For me, that's what it was when I first came here. It was the whole package. I mean, I came here from Muay Thai a long time ago, and I realized, man, there's so many things that I can do. So many things, and there's the women, and there's this, and there's that. I got to go here, got to go there. And I was constantly going, guys, I'm not going to be training tomorrow because I'm leaving for the weekend to go, to this place or that place. Oh, you patio, huh? Yeah, that kind of stuff. So,
Oh, ooh, patio.
oh, you
Man.
patio, huh?
Ooh, yeah. Ooh, one
We'll
youth,
make
one
the
youth.
first big move to open borders. What are you talking about? Thailand's borders are open.
Oh, I know. I think what he means is between like Thailand and Vietnam, like going across border versus just flying in from like Europe or from the United
Mm.
States.
I believe that Thailand and Malaysia, they allow people to cross, but only if they have been uh, tested negative. But I could be wrong. I saw
Yeah.
something about allowing Malays to come in or to go back home a
By the
couple
way,
days ago.
if you want to know who's got good hair, and B. Moran has got like great hair.
I don't care about who has great hair. I seriously don't. You're sounding like Chuck now. Jesus Christ.
Well, I get jealous of hair.
Singapore, I don't. I couldn't give two shits about. So it's great. Hey, you got hair? I don't. You say tomato, I say tomato. Good for them. It's like you like a chick with long hair, or you like a chick with short hair. Some guys want the long hair, so for whatever reason. Some guys they like the short hair.
Well, the long
Joe
hair, you
Biden
can
would
hold
give
on
you
to.
money. I wouldn't count on it. Red Cross parachute. I'm gonna take it. This guy, he doesn't live here.
Yeah.
But be more honest. Being honest, he spelled bitches wrong. Bitches. the funnest the funnest week of my life was when I went to Pattaya in 2004. I haven't been there since.
Yeah, you can have a lot of fun there.
Nah, listen, I always say Pattaya is not for me, and guess why it's not for me? I'm a married man. I've been here a long time. I personally get tired of hearing, hey, handsome man, although I hear that less now when I'm there. Hey, handsome man, please come inside. I got sick of all that shit. That was one of the things that really turned me off. You go in and it's the same fucking spiel day in, day out. After you hear it a couple thousand times, you're like, fucking hey, you got anything else you can say? Did you learn how to say anything else? Did you come here with your family? Do you ever hear that? No. Michael Landon had good hair. Yes, he did. He had great hair.
Very good hair.
That man had good hair.
I would say that's probably one of the best heads of
He
hair
had
ever.
a magnificent mane.
What a mane.
There you go.
I used to watch. It's funny when TV back in the 70s, man. It truly was like family hour. Me and my whole family, man, we would sit down and watch Little House on the Prairie, the Waltons.
I almost watched Little House on the Prairie yesterday, and you know what I watched instead, Longhorns? Big Valley.
Great show, Big Valley.
Yeah. And that was when Linda Evans was smoking.
Certainly was.
And I wonder did Heath Cartwright get into that? Or Heath Barkley get into that? I mean, as Lee Majors, did he get into Linda Evans? I'm interested in knowing that. Did he ever have his way with her? Big Maine on the Prairie. Stepson in Pattaya, and turns out life back in the village is a better deal. Makes about $250 selling Kauman guy. Kauman guy in the morning. And $300 a day delivering rawhide. Yeah. Anyway, so one thing is that the big thing, and you can see it from what I just read in that's going on in Cambodia. That's what I worry will happen here, and even if it's a small percentage of the population, listen, people are pissed right now. You may not know it. A lot of people may not be saying things because Thais tend to just, they keep their mouth shut. But I know quite a few who I've talked to who they are pretty pissed off right now. at the way the government's handled this, at what's going on, and what their future holds in store for them. So I just that's what I mean about stop putting lipstick on the pig, because this is not a good situation.
Mm-mm.
You can, no matter how you slice it, it still comes up shit.
Yeah, no, it really does.
And
And
this is a great place, but if you're not allowed to go out on the beautiful beach or travel to that beautiful beach down the road, then what's the point of having the beach? You can't go there. I can't go to Koh Payam right now. If I went, I mean, yeah, I could, I guess, but it would be a major pain in my ass, and I run a big risk.
there was this YouTuber, and he was in Phuket, and he threw up this video. He says, he was frantically packing because he was afraid of
I
getting.
saw something about that. I didn't watch it, but
Yeah.
something about I got to get out of Phuket.
Yeah, because he didn't want to get stuck there, so he just said, "I'm just leaving."
I was there. What I said. I was talking to my mother this morning. I told her. I said, I got in there at the right time, and I got out of there at the right time. I got in, and there wasn't any of this. You got to get tested and all that. And for the record, listen, you can go pretty much anywhere. You just got to make sure you get tested or you've been vaccinated or whatever. Right now, it's okay. But if you happen to test positive, then you're going to have. I mean, maybe it's not a big deal to you. You got 2 weeks that you're going to be stuck, and you're not going to be able to go run around. You're not going to be able to do anything. You might be in a hospital, so that's not good. And then you're going to have to pay for it, or you're going to have to, hope your insurance pays for everything or whatever, which it should. But it's just the inconvenience. And, again, is the reward worth it? And to me, it's not worth it. Did my mother see Chuck? No, she didn't. I did show my wife, though, and my kids, and they were like, when they saw Chuck's behind. No, they weren't all that fond of it. It was like, ugh. So anyway, let's see here. Yeah, I'm looking at the places that are closed, and there's a long list. Movie theaters, water parks. Let me tell you, public parks and exercise locations are closed. Beauty salons, hairdressers may open, but customers have to wait outside. All types of sport competition fields and sporting grounds, entertainment venues, service venues, meeting rooms, banquets, and other venues. Shopping center hours are different. Weight control clinics, amulet shops, horse racing, dance studios, tattoo parlors, martial arts studios, boxing stadiums, and schools. Aged care facilities, plant nurseries, libraries, museums, exhibition and convention centers, which, if you know anything, the Mall Bankaby up there by, what the hell's the name of that place that we laugh at all the time? The place I went where the food was so not good, in my opinion. What was the name of what's the name of that joint up on the top floor that I go to all the time? I ate there like 4 times because I thought the food would be better if I tried something different, and every time I didn't like it.
I don't remember that. Huh? It's weird.
The Rap God.
Oh.
You never saw that?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you missed out, man. Yeah, you missed out. You missed out.
Yeah,
it's quicker if you tell people what's open. The problem is there's not much open. You can go to a mall, but the hours are different. You can go to restaurants, but the hours are different, and technically they're not supposed to serve you alcohol. Although if you're smart, you can get them to serve you alcohol because they want the money. They need the money. So yeah, let's see here. What else? That's about it. Any kind of park, pretty much. Internet cafes, public swimming pools, fitness centers, exercise facilities. All these places are shut down. So public parks and exercise locations. So I'm taking it that means Lumpini Park is shut down. Let's see here. Last time I was in Thailand, I was 28 in January 2020. Now I'm 29. Might be 30 when I return. Yeah, you might be 40. I don't know. It's just the thing. Let's hope that it's you could come back when you're 29 if you wanted. Yeah, you offered $30 to eat a second wrap, God. Yeah. Actually, I've eaten there like 4 times, but $30 is peanuts to go eat in that shithole. My opinion only. I didn't like the food. Drinks in coffee mugs. Now, if you go into Starbucks, they don't even give it to you in porcelain. They give it to you in paper. You get the paper cups. And, I don't know when it was, a week ago, whenever I went on that stream the other day, like 3-4 days ago. And I went in there and I got an espresso. I said to him, again? Like, back to the paper again? And I was like, son of a bitch, man.
I know. I actually they're doing that in they were doing it in some restaurants in Florida. You'd go to sitting at a table, and they're serving paper cups, and you're like, ugh. It's like you could ask.
Do they serve on paper plates?
No, actually, which defeats the whole thing, right?
Exactly. I guess it's because you don't put your lips on the plate, but you put your lips on the cup.
Yeah, but you could ask, I think, and they would give you a cup.
Adult beverages in restaurant. Yeah. Well, like I said the other day, I know a guy who had a teapot, and he had it filled up with beer, and then he just paid. He just gave him a little tip, and then they were, he poured into his teacup, and that was it. But I guess coffee mugs, whatever, it doesn't matter. Shoida Cowboy, have you showed your parents your female photo? Oh God.
No, I'm not. Oh yeah, I did actually. I did one.
Thank you very much. I don't mean to butt in, but thank you, Tony Choke D. Tony G comes through with the super chat. Thank you very much for the super sticker. And let me answer this real quick. Can you still get fake Rolexes in Bangkok? You can if you're here, or you can get in here, or you come over here. You still can, yes.
I can show you a real one.
Because I won't buy one. If you can't afford to buy one, why buy a fake? You fake Rolex, fake cubic zirconian wearing, what is it? Cubic zirconian. Yeah, zirconian. Wearing, you ever hear, they have it in movies where some chick will find out the guy gave her a fake diamond or something like that, No, my streams are not being deleted. They're only for the members, who are on Patreon and who pay the $3.99 and above. I just put them up there like that for a number of reasons, and it's not only financial, believe me. But yeah, they're still up. They're all still up. I don't really ever delete any of my videos, and I have a backup of every single one. Well, I didn't know Taco Bell was in high demand.
Yeah.
Finally coming to Pattaya this July. Yeah, I mean, Taco Bell rather is like I said when I went there and did the little video, it's not fantastic Mexican food, but for fast food in a pinch, it's pretty good.
Listen, it's perfect for Pattaya, man. When you are drunk, Taco Bell is like it's the food to eat, and it will do very well there for the drunks if they stay open late or 24 hours like the McDonald's.
They deliver. The other day, I was like, well, maybe I should get me a Taco Bell, and instead I got the Burger Republic, which makes awesome cheeseburgers.
Yeah, probably better.
Oh man, that thing was so good. That was the best burger I've had in a while.
I'm telling you,
what's funny? What's funny is, remember I went the other day and I was in the Commons where that place, the Roots, the coffee shop is, and just across from there was a burger place, and I was like looking on Grab, and then I saw, hey, and then first it was Instagram, then I went onto Grab to get an order, And I looked and I went, hey, this is it says Roots to Commons. I'm like, this is the place that's right across from the Roots, the coffee shop. This is the new place that I just saw. I'm like, so I can order from there on Grab or online, and they'll deliver. But, there's stuff. I mean, it's like $380 baht for a cheeseburger. It's freaking ridiculous, man.
We talked about the prices, so it is what it is.
Tiggle Bitties has excellent tacos.
They do. Tiggle Bitties. Scott, have you been to Tiggle Bitties in Patio?
Never.
It's really good. It's an American dude, and it's off of Patio Thai, but you got to kind of weave, like, it's not right on it, and it's good food, man. It's a good place, very popular. I think you'd enjoy that.
How about you just don't wear a watch?
Yeah, that's what I get.
Having to wear a watch and then turn it over. They look at you and they go, "Motherfucker, ain't even got a watch on."
I mean, the cell phone basically has eliminated the need for watches.
Well, that's true. And so when I go somewhere, most of the time, if something were to happen to my watch, I'd be like, "That sucks." I mean, listen, I lost my Omega, my James Bond, what was it, Seamaster or something. When I fell from the 4th floor, it popped off of my wrist, and somebody who was in the group that carried me and put me in a car that had me sent to the hospital took my watch. I never got it back, and to this day, I'm always really about that. Yeah, I'm always pissed off about that. But
Land of Smiles.
How did I have that? Well, I think I fell asleep. I was doing something on the computer, and I fell asleep.
Come on,
and I was
look
at the computer, and so I woke up, and I had my watch on. I was still completely dressed. It was like 2:00 in the morning. Mr. Monash, what day? What the crap?
One eye. Good to see you.
Yeah. Het Yang. I just slept well. Luckily, certain images from a certain chap did not register in my sleep. Well, that's good. Listen, I got to say that me and the kids went to go get our vaccines yesterday, our flu vaccination, the quad variant. Okay. And, they started to piss me off. I'm not going to name hospitals or anything like that. I don't want to go there. But they started to piss me off because anytime I go to this hospital, I always have these kind of problems. I go in, I show them the paper from the insurance company. I said, this should be a no-brainer. I'm in the system. Everybody's in the system. They said, oh, your youngest son is not in the system. I said, okay. They had told me, go to registration. I said, okay. We went to registration. And they go, oh, he is American? I said, no, he's Thai. He's Thai American, but he's coming here as a Thai. He has his bat prachachon, Oh, can we see? I said, okay. We give him the bat prachachon. The next thing I know, you need to go upstairs. We go upstairs. They take us to the international department. I'm like, why are we in the international department now? And I hear her on the phone going, the boy is American.
No, he's not. Yeah.
And I go, and I fucking say, she's on the phone. I go, he's not fucking American. I go, he's American Thai. He's got his fucking bat prachachon. I go, and we're not paying for this either, God damn it. Oh, I go, why don't you look at my fucking paper and my phone. What's on the phone? I'm like trying to tell her, honey, baby, look at this number. And this tells you everything you need to know. Why don't you call my insurance company? Oh, I'm like, why do I have to do your job for you? So I start getting a little bit irritated, and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to let it go. I'm not going to let it go. Giant yen. Longhorns, I'm not naming names. And so, they say, okay, you give us all your IDs and all this, and they copy them, and they make us sign all these papers and everything. I'm like, Jesus Christ, for a fucking flu shot? Last year there was a flu shot, and it was right in the front. You just walked up, and they gave you the shot.
Exactly.
I'm like, what the fuck? So we get all that done, and then we go into this room that's basically to get your shots. But you have to go see a doctor first, because the doctor has to inform you of what's going to happen when you get this shot. And I'm like, okay, all right, whatever. They're CYA. That's what it is. That's all it is. They want to cover their asses. Uh-huh. So while we're sitting there, this lady comes up and go, can I see all of your IDs, please? And I said to the lady, didn't we just give all these IDs to the lady upstairs? Do you not have our IDs and the copies of the IDs? She's giggling. She doesn't know what the fuck to say. You know how that goes. She's giggling. I'm like, just give her the fucking IDs. I'm like, God damn it. She takes the IDs. She comes back and she goes, sir, you are Mr. Nicholas? And he's, she's looking at the ID and I'm like going, Giant yen, giant yen. Right? And so then she goes, okay, Mr. Scott, you'll come here. I said, okay. So, they check your weight, your height, and your blood pressure.
For a flu shot, they're doing all this shit?
Yep.
Why?
And so I go, why are you checking all this stuff? I go, just give me my goddamn shot. I'm, nicely. I go, why don't you just give me the shot? Oh, first you go over here and you get... Okay. Giant yen. What is it? Serenity now. Might be right. I go over, do everything, and then she says, oh, you have high blood pressure. And I said, maybe because you guys are fucking making my life fucking miserable for a goddamn flu shot. I've been sitting here for an hour and a half already.
I didn't when I came in this morning.
I'm like, what the fuck? Oh, we take again. I said, okay. So it's still high, but it's a little lower. You need to talk to the doctor. The doctor's like, your blood pressure's a little bit high. I go, why don't you check it right now, doc? He checks it again. Now, it's bordering on a little bit high and normal. And he goes, oh, not same before. I'm like, yeah, maybe because your fucking nurse has been asking me fucking 1,000 questions for a fucking flu shot. But of course, I said it very nicely. I said, oh, I have to do many things. I have to worry about my children. I'm trying to fucking flower it up. I'm dumbing myself down. Exactly. I just wanted to go, give me my goddamn flu shot. And stop. And, the thing is that I looked online. It's 1,200 baht for a shot. $40. Almost $40. I'm like, $40? Is that what it costs in America to get a flu shot?
If you have insurance, it's free.
There you go. So I made it a point to say, that the insurance company is paying for this. Oh, yes, yeah. I said, okay. So we go in. Alex gets a shot. He goes, oh, my arm hurts a little. He goes, but it's okay. I said, okay.
That's normal.
Nicholas gets a shot. He's like, I'm fine. I get the shot. Now, when the lady did the third blood pressure check with the machine, okay? She wrapped the goddamn thing around my arm so tight, and it blew up, and it's squeezing the shit out of my arm.
It hurts.
And I'm like, that fucking hurts. And then, it hurt me for an hour afterwards. I'm like, God damn, that hurt, I'm like, and then I was pissed off at her. I'm like, that bitch fucking hurt me. I'm not the one who gave me the shot. She didn't hurt me at all. I didn't even feel it. The ones who give you the shots all the time, those nurses, they're fantastic because they're so good that you don't even feel the needle.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, flu shots, the after effect, including
I feel it today.
Yeah,
I do feel it a little bit.
Because it goes into your muscle. It's not a vein. So it's going to hurt. Same thing with the vaccine. Your arm hurts,
Yeah. I mean, my arm is a little bit sore, and I do feel a little, like I got a fever or a little bit. And they said, yeah, you'll have that for a day or two. And I'm like, all right, it's no big deal. It's not that bad.
Yeah, I never get a reaction to flu shots.
So then we're done. Oh, sir, here, you go cashier.
Don't.
I'm like, I'm not going to any fucking cashier, honey. Yeah, you go cashier over there. You tell them here. I go, and I'm saying all this in Thai. I'm really trying to hold it together because my kids are with me, And I say, I don't need to go. Oh, you got the dogs. That's right. Take care, Carlos. I go, I really don't need to pay this. How many times if I said this to you, I asked you this before. Oh, sorry. She completely forgot. She spaced it out. I'm like, what the fuck? And then we walk out, and you know what? I was a little bit dizzy after the shot, and so I'm like, listen, we'll walk outside. Now my kids, like Alex was a little irritated. Nicholas wasn't irritated. Nicholas just wanted to get out of there and go home. He hadn't eaten yet. He didn't eat anything because he had woke up, and it was, and I had said to Bo, I said, get him up at like 11 o'clock so that they can go take showers and get ready and do their thing. And so when I was done with the stream yesterday, I was already dressed. I just grabbed my wallet, went out the door, and he's half asleep, so he didn't get to eat. So he's hungry, so he's starting to get a little irritable. And so I made sure they got fed. We grab all our food. We go outside. It's a taxi place. It's where the taxis come to pick people up. We're sitting there, and I'm sitting there for like 15, 20 minutes, and no taxis come. Finally, I said to the guy, I go, hey, you think you can get me a taxi? Isn't this what you're supposed to be doing? And they're all standing around fucking jibber jabbering. And this is the thing with the hospitals. I told Alex and Nicholas, I go, listen, if you were in America, you might be here for 4 or 5 hours, 6 hours to get your goddamn shot. Or you might go into a clinic and you're in there for 5 minutes and you walk right out. You might not have had to go through all this bullshit. And they're just like, because they don't care. They have no real reference. But let's see here. I fucking hate visiting a doctor. It's nothing good. Never any good news. Yeah.
Scott, I'm going to switch over to my computer from the phone.
All right, you do that.
I'll be right back.
I cannot stand going to any hospital now. And, I guess I could say on a positive note, hey, they got me better. They made me well. I'm okay now. I made it out alive. But, it's the journey up to that point that is a bitch. And I told Alex, I said, do you remember that time when we went to the hospital for you and you had to have a little something done and I had to argue with them about that we don't have to pay this, that the insurance company is going to pay this. And they said, you just pay first and the insurance will pay you back. And I'm like, no, that's not how it works. And I had to fight with them for a fucking half an hour. And he's like, yeah, I remember that. Send the link. The link's at the top of if you go all the way to the top of the doodad, it's pinned. I don't know if it's pinned, but here, I'll just put it up again. Let me see here. I'll make it easy for you. There you go. All right, is that going to pop up? Well, I did put it up. Let's see. There you go. Let's see if he pops back in here. Anyway, so that was big fun at the hospital yesterday. Here he is. He's back. There we go.
There you go.
All right. Wow, you're looking more handsome now with the computer. That's a joke.
No, it's not.
Bad joke, but joke.
I'll tell you. So, getting old, there's so many little things. It's just little things. So about 3-4 days ago, I wake up and I've suddenly had this floater in my eye. You ever get one of those things that just kind of floating around in your eye?
Yeah.
It's been there.
I wash my eyes out immediately.
Yeah, it's been there for now 4 days, and it's annoying as hell. It's one of the worst ones I've ever had, and so I'll go to my eye doctor when I get back to New York, which is in about a week and a half. But I looked it up. Sometimes they take a month to go away, 2 months. But they said that when you're over, these are the risks. If you're nearsighted, which I am, over 50, yes, which I am, these are the things that happen. With that it's the liquid in your eye becomes less whatever, and you get these floaters. Liquidy. Yeah, and you're like, come on, man. Like, Just such a, these
Listen,
little.
don't get me started on getting old.
It's just the little things, though. It's like that's a
That's
little
my
thing,
least favorite topic. That and Maxine Waters are my least favorite topics in the world.
Well, one of them is avoidable, the other one isn't. So, it's really annoying because if you ever had one, it's just floating around there. Just like you just want to come on, get out of
Mine go away. Mine have gone away. I don't know if they're the same thing, but
well, hopefully this will too.
yeah. Well, I mean, now that brings about something else. Now think about this. They're going to start if it gets much worse. What they're going to do now is they're going to get to the point where they're going to say, we won't be taking appointments for people who don't have emergency issues. Like you're not going to be able to go to the dentist or things like that,
Well, they had that here in the States,
That's what I mean. And it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen here, I believe. Be glad you don't have muscular degeneration. No, I have bone degeneration.
Oh, macular degeneration, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
macular. Is that what it is?
Yeah. Listen,
I need my glasses.
Who the hell? Maybe I have it. Who the fuck knows anymore? I got, it just sucks. And
yeah, well, what are you going to do? Let me just ask you this. If your pecker works, be happy. I mean, really. Your eyes, you can get an operation, you can get it fixed, you can put some glasses on, you can get some contacts or whatever. But if your pecker goes out, then it ain't nothing but downhill. I've suffered because my female doctor won't test me for a hernia. My pecker is impeccable. You have an impeccable pecker. Soy Dog Cowboy, what are you doing? You're doing some research on something there?
No, I'm just kind of sitting here.
You're okay, Soy Dog Cowboy. Maybe it was just bad aim the other night while watching Pornhub.
Longhorns, you're always giving.
That's all that he thinks about. Which, I guess there's other subjects you could think about that are worse. All right, let me continue here. All right, I've already looked at this one. Let me see here. I always like looking. I'm looking around. I always like looking around for stuff to see if anything has just come out. Now, what I liked here was this one. I'm gonna have to go back and look at that. Let's see here. I like on the one side here, Bangkok Jack. He calls them face muzzles. Face muzzles are now compulsory in Bangkok, which is true. What is this? Famous Thai gamer dies from COVID after waiting 5 days for the test. Wow.
Really?
Kunlasab Watnapon, known as Up the Gamer, detailed his experience as a COVID patient in Thailand on his personal Facebook page, causing his case to go viral. Up is a famous gamer in Thailand known for his large role in Thailand's e-sport industry. On April 17th, he posted that he had been waiting 5 days for a COVID test. I've been in self-quarantine for 5 days. There is no quota open for COVID tests in my area. No one is answering the emergency line. It's been so long. I will recover soon. Let's see here.
The question is, even if he got the test and he was positive, what kind of treatment are you going to get? Like there was
posted another update saying a doctor told him he was in bad condition. The doctor said him being overweight was not helping.
Well,
the doctor told him his oxygen was over 80 and only 20% of his lungs were left. Ooh, shit. The update was apparently when he was finally admitted to the ICU and was posted by a fellow patient. 2 days later, the same fellow patient posted that Up had succumbed to the virus. At 11:26, he left this earth. He wanted to make sure I found what? The funeral will take place at Wat Phra Temple. Wow. So this is a guy. How old was he?
Sounds young, gamer.
Sounds young. Yeah, it doesn't. I don't see any age on here. But I was going to talk about the one. Let's see here. Where's it at? Oh, this was on. What is it? Let me see here. Now, there are calls for Anatin, the health minister, to quit his post, and people want him to resign.
Right, and then what?
The
And then what?
opposition Move Forward Party, who has been critical of the government's handling of the third wave of COVID-19 infections, are alleging negligence of duty by government officials in the absence of preparations to deal with the resurgence of the virus. And so they want him booted. And he, of course, is saying, no, it's not going to happen. I'm not going to do that. Which, I'm not going to say anything for self-preservation reasons. Now, where's the thing I saw about the foreigners in Thailand who were in Phuket? Let's see here. Government. Here's one, and I don't get this. Government. This is just 23 seconds ago on the Tiger. Government insists Phuket reopening will go ahead as planned. Well, you can go ahead and do it. I dare say they're going to get about 25 people that come in. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Vaccines are just one of many components to make a reopening successful. We require endorsement from other related authorities, such as the Public Health and Foreign Affairs Ministry, particularly about whom Thailand has initiated travel agreements with. This is a crucial factor, as it's hard to bring in visitors if they are required to enter quarantine. I just don't get it. I don't get the logic. I don't get the logic. And here in Phuket, listen to this. Phuket, even problem foreigners must mask up or get a 25,000 baht fine. And they have a big sign, mask that on the mask it says, just wear the damn mask. Phuket government officials have threatened to strictly enforce the 20,000 baht face mask fine and contact consular officials for foreigners that refuse to mask up. The vice governor of Phuket has issued a stern warning that all people are required to wear face masks in public at all times. Phuket has begun to require COVID-19 tests on arrivals. Let's see here. The vice governor reminded the public that the order to wear a mask in public was issued in January. He requested that everyone, Thais and foreigners, wear a mask to fully cooperate with the mandate now. See, now this to me, I don't understand. He says he specifically mentioned the troubling issue of what they labeled a problem foreigners, those expats and travelers that refuse to wear a mask in public. Well, I dare say that there are some problem Thais who won't wear them.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that.
Why don't Thais wear their motorcycle helmets? I mean,
we're talking about the mask, but here's the thing. I just was talking yesterday about how there was a Chinese woman, and whether she's Chinese or not, she's a foreigner, whatever she might be. It didn't really matter to me. She didn't want to wear a mask. She wasn't wearing a goddamn mask, and I wanted to reach over and smack her. But, obviously that's not going to happen. I wanted to give her a smack and go, honey, what are you doing? Like you're sitting next to like 5 people, and you don't care. And I see Thai people walking around without masks, but so why are they differentiating between foreigners, as in, I'm assuming Westerners, mostly Westerners in Phuket? It just says foreigners, though, so I should stick to that. But cooperation between Thais and foreigners is requested to wear a mask because wearing a mask will reduce the transmission of infection from person to person to a great extent. If everyone participates, wearing a mask will help prevent the spread of COVID-19. Thus, we are asking for special cooperation. I don't know that it's any kind of special cooperation. It's you are a human being, wear the goddamn mask, otherwise you pay money or you go to jail. I don't get it.
Yeah.
And this is the kind of thing that I'm talking about. Why did he wait so long to go to the hospital? Because he couldn't get his test results. Without his test result, they're not going to admit him. Anatin got to go. I'm not going to say anything. Do they even charge 20,000 baht for murder? Sometimes less, I think. We're easier to pick out. Well, I do stand out, I'll admit that. But, for the most part, there has not been any law saying that you have to wear a mask in Bangkok. There hasn't been any rule or any law or any crackdown saying that you have to wear it. And so not only me, but many other people, Thai and foreigner alike, listen, I've said it. If I'm walking around in a park and there's nobody there and there's nobody around me, why do I have to have a mask on? It's stupid. But now you do have to have the mask on. Okay. However, parks are not open, so you're not going to be walking around in a park. In my area here, nobody has been wearing masks when they walk around and they go buy food from somebody. They don't wear the masks. Nobody. You don't go and walk to your next door neighbor and wear a mask. People aren't doing it. Now, I've noticed more and more people are wearing their masks, probably because they don't want to get stung with a 20,000 baht fine.
Exactly, right? So that's the point of saying it's a fine,
Yeah. So, let's see here. Problem foreigners who protest mask wearing. The two-step plan. Let me hear this right here. First step is meeting with all councils in Phuket and province officials to make sure regulations are clear and understood, and then have those rules clarified to foreigners in a public campaign to raise awareness. If that gentle approach proves unsuccessful, the next step is to begin to prosecute anyone who breaks the mandate and refuses to wear a mask. That includes contacting foreign consulate for foreigners violating the mandate. I don't know why they would need to contact a foreign consulate unless maybe they're going to throw the person in jail because of it. But I would say when the person comes across the border, when they enter Thailand, they need to know you must wear your mask when you're out in public at this time. They need to do something to make sure that people know so they can't go, oh, I didn't know. They can play stupid. The government has been publicizing a campaign of DMHTT, though apparently only in Thai, to stress the safety measures needed to combat the spread of the COVID-19. The M stands for mask wearing, as the vice governor stressed. The 5-point campaign reminds people of the need for distancing, mask wearing, hand washing, testing, check temperatures and test for COVID-19. Tai Chana, the contract, it's supposed to be contact tracing app to check in everywhere you go. Now, I admit I don't use that. What's the fine for running over kids on the sidewalk? It is a warning. It's a warning that people need to wear their masks. And, I understand. Wear your goddamn mask. What's the big deal? And once it's over, if we stifle the thing and we don't have to worry about it, and the vaccines work, hopefully I'll never have to wear another mask in my life. Now, what I'm wondering is, like, if you're somewhere like I was in Riley and you're out on the beach and you're all alone and you're not wearing a mask, are they going to charge you 20,000 baht? Because you're sitting over on some rock all by yourself looking out at the sea. Are they going to, I'm telling you, it's 20,000 baht, Longhorns. Do you want me to show you the article? They've moved it. It used to be 4,000. Now they've bumped it up to 20K. Hate to tell you this. Just left it in the car. Can get fined here too. How much do they fine you there, Monash? There in Australia. For running over kids. Oh, I don't know. I don't think about, hey, I'm going to pay. I don't, and I think I know that some people might find that to be disgusting or horrible. And it is. But that's kind of how Thailand operates. You know, if you murder somebody or whatever, especially if it wasn't done, what is it, with malice aforethought? If it just happens somehow, you know, if you got enough money, you might be able to pay your way out of it.
Exactly.
You know, let's see here. What's this? Hold on, let me check. Richard Barrow tweeted about it yesterday, and I saw 20K. I'm not even going to say anything about that. I mean, I look at multiple sources. I don't generally just look at, like, did it come from Richard Barrow? I try to look at multiple sources most of the time. What is this? All right, so the Public Health Ministry is mulling a new lockdown. Of course, and this was at 7 o'clock this morning. Of course, it does say right below it, wear a mask or risk copping a 20,000 baht fine. And I don't understand this because to me, it seems like we're already in a targeted lockdown. 1,000 Aussie. So what is that in US dollars? 1,000 Aussie. What is that, like 700? No, it's like 1,400 US, something like that. That's a lot, man. They call it failing the attitude test. Oh, God, now that would piss me off. You're 5,000. Tiger's husband running. I think I saw nothing. $750. Oh, so it's almost the same as the fine here in Thailand, which is crazy when you think about it. But maybe that's what it takes to stop this, you know, to get people wearing a mask. I don't know. Well, that's why I'm reporting it at 20,000, because I noticed multiple outlets stating that it was 20,000. So if multiple outlets are, generally I'm going to believe it. Not all the time. Sometimes I think they get ahead of themselves. But I do believe, and it's been like that for a while. It's been 4,000, and then it went up to 5,000, 4 to 5,000, then it's 4,000 to 20,000, and now it's just a flat 20 grand. Oh yeah, 1,000 baht would do the. I don't think 1,000 baht fine would do the job. Honestly, I would characterize it as having failed the attitude test. So she had been issued with $1,000 infringement, what the cop said, in relation to the lady who flaunted the rules. You know, I wonder, like, if you forget the mask, you go, oh, I'm sorry. Let me see. I think I have one in my bag, and you put it on. They're going to charge you the 20K if you're a foreigner. Curious to know. Anyway, let me see what else is out here, because that's pretty much what's going on. I mean, you know, listen, things are changing all the time. My big concern is just give me the damn vaccine. I'm sad to say that that submarine that, if you know anything about this, but the submarine that had been declared missing has been found, and it was cracked into 3 parts in waters off of Bali. 53 people died. Let's see here. That's about all the new news. Tell me something good, Soy Dog Cowboy.
You know, I don't think there is anything good. I was just reading something interesting. It says that over 5 million people have skipped their second COVID-19 dose, which is not surprising. You know, that's about 8%. And, you know, they're going, I didn't get to the part of why, but it's easy to know why. Which
Where?
is that
In the United States?
In the United States. So 8% of the people now, like That includes me. I mean, I was supposed to get my second dose today, but I pushed it back, 4 days or 5 days, I think. I'm going to do it at the end of the week because I'm moving.
Mhm.
I can't afford to be laid up while I'm moving. So, I got to take care of all that first. Then I'll
How
get
much
the
stuff
shot.
do you have?
I mean, it's not that I have a lot of stuff, but it's like I have furniture that I rented. So they're coming to pick it up on Tuesday, and I have to be able to, be here and be able to move around and then get to my parents afterwards. So I have them coming. The girl that I was seeing here, I'm giving her the TV. So we got someone coming tomorrow to, I had a day bed here for guests. I'm giving that to her. So, they're going to move that.
How is she taking your leaving?
She's so heartbroken. No, she's fine. And then, I have clothing and
You shouldn't have said she's fine. You should have, she's heartbroken.
She's heartbroken.
I'm a heartbreaker.
Suicidal. So, but I have my, what else do I have? Like I bought a second screen for my computer, and I've got my, obviously clothing and pots and pans, things I brought down, some small appliances, an air fryer, things like that. So all that's going in my scooter, all that's going into the car, and then the car.
My scooter.
Yeah.
What happens if you're going to come back?
Then I got to do the whole thing again,
Oh man.
It's not that much, but it's still stuff that has to get done. And so I didn't get the second shot because the side effects can be pretty debilitating if,
Yeah, look at Lori. Look what happened to Lori.
Yeah. And,
it's for what, 3 days?
Exactly, which I can't afford. So I'm trying to get everything done by Wednesday so I can get, the shot on Wednesday instead of Thursday. Thursday will be the latest. And then I'll have about 5 days before I have to fly home. So, that should be fine. And I'm hoping it's really just one day of this nightmare. But we'll see. We'll see.
Listen, I got to say, I just saw this. This is why I look around sometimes. You can live here well on a budget of $2,000 to $2,500 a month. What utter and total crap. The myth of Thailand as a cheap paradise is complete horseshit, but it's never going to die. And that comes from, let's see here, International Living, which ranks, I got to put my
You can
glasses.
live here on $2,000 a month pretty easily.
We're not talking about just living here.
You know what? You can get an apartment. Like Niall's living in a 10,000 baht a month apartment. It's 300 and something bucks a month. Let's say all in, it's 500, and then the 1,500 for food. And you can do it. I think you can do that. You're gonna live like a king, but you're not gonna live like a pauper.
I think what he took offense at was, where is it? Let me see. You can live well here on a budget. Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe it depends on how you're living and what you're living in. But how much did you say he's paying? 10,000 baht?
Yeah.
I mean, listen, my wife and I were talking about it.
You're paying less.
I'm paying less, but there's a reason why.
You've been there a long time.
We want to stash as much cash as we can, and also we got 2 kids that we have to worry about in college.
Yeah, I'm not talking about that though, but I'm talking about you're paying less for rent. You can on a budget of $2,500 a month.
Let me tell you something. If they weren't in school, and we were content with how much money we have for the long term, we would be living in a much nicer place. And, the one reason that we didn't move to that house that I showed is because we just figured it out. And we're like, you know what? It's just not worth it. Not right now. Not when you can save. We could save for a couple of more years and we could just put cash down on a house. Why pay for 20 years or 25 years when you could just save for 4 more years, 3 more years, and you buy the.
Yeah, I mean, there's all different reasons.
I'd say if you're a single guy, 2,000 to 2,500 is it's quite sufficient. If you're a guy who's older and you're paying for good insurance, and I mean like really good insurance, and you're going out every day to eat. You're bringing your wife or your girlfriend or whatever out to eat every day. And, every time you go out, you're paying 300 baht, 400 baht for a meal. You're going to need more money, We all have to stay home and read Animal Farm. Oh, well. We're 1984. International living is wrong, very wrong. You can do it, but hopefully no emergencies will pop up. You will need insurance these days. And if retired, 800,000 in the bank. If all my bills were covered with about 32,000, but how the hell 25 more fine. If all my bills were covered with about 32,000 baht, how the hell is 2,000? Well, I did say if you're single, and yeah, or retired with no debt easily. I think it, really depends on your lifestyle also, and especially now, because certain things are going to cost you more money. If you're going to be ordering food all the time, and you're going to be ordering Grab, it's going to cost you more money. You're going to be ordering Food Panda, that kind of stuff. It's going to cost you more money. Than if you go out and you're going to go eat street food all the time. And even the street food, if you buy it from Grab, it's going to cost you, 2-3 times what it costs you on the street. And also how many vices you have. Yes. If we were to go, just yesterday, Nicholas and my wife went out right down the street. They got Nicholas it was barbecued pork with some sausage in it over rice with an egg in it, and then a coffee, like an iced coffee and iced cocoa, and that was less than 100 baht. And they happened to find 100 baht on the ground as they were walking, so it didn't cost them anything. But if you want to eat like that, then yeah, it's not that expensive. I mean, that's $1.50, say, for one person to eat and to drink. Yeah, you can't live like a tourist. That's the main thing.
Right.
Also,
Absolutely.
you have a car. Are you driving around? You're going to need car insurance. You're going to need maintenance for the car. All those kind of things. That is the kind of thing that adds up.
Right.
So if you're going to live like you're living in Hong Kong or you're living in the United States, you're going to live in Singapore or something like that, and you've got to drive around, and you're not taking public transportation, it's going to cost you more money.
Right. So take public transportation. That's
Some
the answer.
people don't want to. Think about that. They don't want to.
Well, that's a different
Food prices
topic.
are going up at the restaurants and also in the grocery. I've noticed a lot of things are getting more expensive in the grocery, and I'm like, son of a bitch, this just used to be, 400 baht. Now it's 430 baht. That sort of thing.
Right.
Ground beef is extremely expensive here. Maybe not compared to back in the West, but for me, I mean, you get a couple of chicken breasts and it's like 85 baht, 86 baht, something like that. But if you buy some ground beef, I mean, it might be 200 baht for, I don't know how much, 400 grams of ground beef, something like that. Yeah, and you know what? I'll tell you what. Where were we yesterday? Well, we were down on Lod Pro 111. And the SkyTrain down in that part and down by 101, because you have to go almost all the way down to 101 to make a U-turn to come back to Waitangi when we're going the way we were going. And I took a look up at the SkyTrain. Man, that thing is almost done. I mean, it looks done to me. The only thing is below the SkyTrain, they're going to need to get the road back the way that it was before, do whatever they do with the Meridian, and but it's pretty much done. So, you just have down by the mall and past to where it turns to go to Ramkhamhaeng Road. Once that's done, they're done. So I'm wondering what's that going to mean for this area, because I don't want to be here any longer than I have to be. But if I'm going to be here, hopefully the SkyTrain will help quite a bit because I don't have to worry about sitting, in traffic on Lot Prao or Ramkhamhaeng Road. So
Yeah.
anyway, prices are going up, but they're going up everywhere. So what are you going to do? I give transportation in Bangkok an 8 out of 10. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know any places, maybe Japan, but the prices are expensive there, you know. Maybe parts of Europe where the train system is quite good. Yeah, that's the thing. See, this is the thing, Bruce. And the other day when I went to that cafe, what was the name of that place? Cherry on Top. Um, and let me tell you something. That's a perfect example of a place because of their marketing. I went to that place. Man, their food looked so good and it was good. I'm not saying it wasn't. Their food looked so good on Instagram. I was like, man, I got to go to this place. And I went there, and it's a tiny little place. But because of their marketing, I was like, man, I got to go there. But I didn't want to take the boat because I didn't want to get on there with another, 100 people, whatever it is. I didn't want to get on the boat with 100 people scrunched together, you know.
Yeah.
I'd rather just take my time. I'm not in a big hurry. I'm never in a hurry anymore here. Almost never. I don't have appointments, and if I make an appointment, I make it late to where I don't have to rush, Shanghai mass transit is excellent and inexpensive. Yeah, but it's in China. So it gets a big thumbs down. Hate to be a prick about it, but
So that gets a big thumbs down.
it's in China, so it gets a thumbs down. China's not my favorite place in the world right now, in case you don't know. And there's only really a few places that I want to go anymore. One is America. I want to go back and, visit my parents. The other is Ecuador. What was the other one? Maybe Costa Rica. Portugal. I'm not sure about the Mediterranean, I don't know about that. And then, I'd like to get into Africa, but, somewhere.
Good luck.
And I don't, the way that it looks now, I don't know that I'll be able to get to. And I like to go to Ireland. That was the other one. Yeah, so, we'll see what happens. Hopefully I can get into at least a few of those before the end of the show, we'll say. Let's see what else we got here. Nation. Let's check out the Nation. Foreign ministry denies rumors of wealthy Indians fleeing to Thailand by charter flights. Well, here we go. Let's see. No, this must have been yesterday. What's the date today? 26th. I'm not sure if this was yesterday. That's when Babat opens firm but likely to weaken in the short term. It's 31.45 at the moment. Opened at 31.4. So that's pretty good news. Wow, Bangkok Sansap Canal to be ferry free during Songkran. Okay, no boats. When was this? When did this come out? No boats will be on the canal from April 11th to April 15th because the company running service is giving its 350-strong team of drivers and fare collectors a Songkran break for the first time in 2 years. Well, that's nice. That was on March 31st. So they just shut that down for 4 days. It's a good thing I didn't try to take the boat. I didn't know that they even shut it down. What is this, though? 8 more COVID patients die as over 2,000 new cases reported. 2,048 new cases, 47 found via proactive testing, 10 were overseas arrivals in quarantine. Bangkok had 60 patients on has 60 patients on ventilators, the most anywhere in the country. And it says 8 people died. So it looks like that's what the numbers are for the day. 2,048 cases and 8 fatalities. Yeah, anyway. I think when it's done, Bangkok's supposed to have the best mass transit city for a city its size. It's amazing that how progressive they are in some areas and how just, I don't even know the word. I'm at a loss for words, but you know, they're very progressive and very forward thinking in some ways. And then in other ways, it's just like, what are you waiting for? You know, like, it's dropped a bit. Yeah, you know, I mean, Bruce, 8 people died compared to 11. That's the second most number. That's the second highest number of people that died today. 8 people. So, I mean, it's not many, but tell that to the families. You know, if it was me that died, tell that to my family and see what they say. You know. Yeah, exactly. We're all in this position now. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
That's about where we're at. What are you gonna do? Well, guess what we're gonna do? Nothing.
Nothing.
All these people who are like, oh, you know, you're contributing to the problem. You're part of the establishment. You're going with them. You're just a sheep. Okay, well, let me see what you're gonna do there, buddy. 2,000 from 2,800. Yeah, but Bruce, tell me that tomorrow, okay, when you see the numbers tomorrow, that it's going down. 2,800 was the most that there has ever been. 2,500 has been the number that's been, it's happened a couple times. 2,000 is still a lot for here. I think it depends on the opportunity for graft. Yeah, okay. Okay, whatever. Day by day, all we can do is find new and better coping mechanism. It definitely sucks. Yeah, I want to say that it doesn't suck. I want to say that it's fantastic and everything's great and it's getting better and we're going to be okay. We're going to go see everything and it's going to be, everything is, what's that song? Everything is beautiful in its own way. I'd love to do that. And that's why, listen, that's why, I'll be honest, that's why me going to Riley and going to Cowlock, it was so nice. Even Cowlock, which, you know, there was nothing really open. You know, it was very, very nice, beautiful place. But, you know,
Yeah.
what do you know, what, like I said, what are you going to do? I'm not there now. And it's probably a good thing, you know, and I went to Phuket and Phuket was, you know, yeah, it's not great. It's hard to stay positive all the time, no pun intended. It is okay to be pissed off. Well, thank you, because as I was saying earlier to Longhorns, who said it's sad. This is a sad situation. It is sad, but I'm sad and I'm pissed off at the same time. I'm pissed off because, first of all, did this really even have to happen? I don't think so. It's happened before, and yet it seems that the same things keep occurring. What's to say that in another 20 years, we're over this for 10 years, and then the Chinese do the same goddamn thing again?
Oh, it's definitely going to happen again.
But they got their heads up their asses for the most part when it comes to these markets. Yeah, yesterday was 24.38. Okay. They say all districts don't report on Sundays and numbers can be lower going into Monday. My country pisses me off more than COVID. You know, we need it. I need 4 years. That's what I need. I need 4 years. 4 years, I'll be about 63. The kids will be out of university. And they should be on their way. I need 4 or 5 years.
And for what?
for me to change a little perspective and maybe like tell the kids, guys, you got your own apartments, you're on your merry way, and see you later. Me and your mom are going out. We'll be spending the next 3 months down on this beach or whatever.
Yeah, well, you
Yeah,
know.
well, here's a question right here. I can't see how a 300 baht a meal that would make you make 2,500. That's about $250 a month. Well, actually, if you do the math the way that I was thinking in my head, which maybe I should have explained myself, for a man and a woman to spend 300 baht each, and I'm saying you're one of these guys who you got your woman with you and she's not paying for much, if anything. So let's say you're paying for her meal every time. If you're spending 300 baht a meal, that's 600 baht a pop. Times 3 is 1,800 baht. 1,800 baht times 30 is 54,000 baht. You're almost at $2,000. You're about, what, $1,700, $1,800 a month? You're not at $250. Now, granted, most people will eat at home sometimes, and they'll save money, or maybe they won't. There's a lot of foods that you buy in Thailand, you're not saving any money.
Right.
And the other thing is that, some people will eat Thai food from a market or from, like across the street like we do. And that's how we get around it. But, listen, we like to eat. We don't want to eat Thai food all the time. We're not eating fried rice all the time or pad Thai or pad krapao. We're not eating this kind of stuff all the time. Yeah, I mean, in 26 years that I've lived here, I've eaten pad Thai way too much.
Well,
Dino Magus, like I said, stick with me here. That 1,800 baht a day for food is for 2 people. So it's 900 baht a pop. You can easily do that, especially if you live somewhere like Phuket, maybe not so much Pattaya, but in Bangkok, in Phuket, very easy to do that. When there's a 380 baht burger, when pizzas are 750 baht just for a pizza, and maybe you got your friends over and you're eating a pizza and they're not contributing to anything, you're just paying for it. I mean, that kind of stuff adds up. I'm not saying that that's how it is all the time, but I'm saying that for some people, they do live that way. I don't. Everyone's budget is completely different, just like our personalities. There you go. The other thing is that, what about a gym membership, right? You got a gym membership, that might be 3,000 baht, 4,000 baht a month here. Depends on the gym you're going to. Depends on if you're getting private sessions. There's all kinds of things that add up. People don't think of this shit, And I can tell you, as someone who's been here for a fair amount of time, that you never can account for everything. It's very difficult to plan for everything. And you always have to add more to your budget than you think you're going to spend. Now, for somebody like Longhorn, who really, he doesn't do a whole lot. He's not running around going all over the country. He's not going out. He goes out to a nice restaurant once in a while, but he's not doing that every single day. Even my wife wanted pizza for her birthday dinner. Yeah. All right, So. As get older. So 10,000 baht for a place. 54,000. No, who's saying that? Who said that? The other guys, whoever it was, said 10,000 baht. That's Soy Dog Cowboy said Niall pays 10,000 baht for a place. For 10,000 baht, you can get a place. I don't know. Is it a studio? Has it got a bedroom in it?
It's small, but it's a one bedroom.
Okay,
it's small. But it's
he doesn't live with his girl there.
He does, actually.
Wow.
I know. Crazy.
So he's basically saving the money on the place to live. You can do that.
Yeah.
But I can tell you, once you get a little bit older, most people that are older, they don't want to live in a tiny place unless they have to.
Yeah.
So 10,000 baht. I was just talking to my wife about it. She knows a bunch of condos, 1-bedroom condos with kitchens, very nice, fully furnished. You basically just walk into the place. They're 15,000 baht a month, and they're near the SkyTrain, but they're in the older areas of Bangkok. So 15,000 baht, 15,000 baht for an apartment. Now, you may not want to live there with two people. I don't know. I don't know how big the place is, but I know the places that I've lived, and I've lived in a place that was with the utilities. It was 45,000 a month. It's local taste for pizza here. You did say 1,800 a day for food. Exactly. I'm saying that. And I'm also saying, yeah, is that so hard to understand? People do that. What I'm saying is they could be, for all you know, they could be paying 54,000 for the place that they're living. I kind of doubt it. Most people aren't going to spend that much. I know a few that have, but most people don't. So, again, you can live off of 2,000 to 2,500. You can live off of that as a single person or a person who's got a wife if you really want. We don't live off of that much. I can tell you that. And we got 2 kids, so, it's not possible. It just ain't possible. I mean, we could do it in a pinch if we absolutely had to, but we wouldn't have a comfortable life like we do now. Our life is pretty comfortable. I find it funny that some people, I think that the way they think is that they're going to come to Thailand and that they're going to get these great street meals. They're going to go to a vendor and get food, and they're going to be eating like that every day for months and months and months and months. And they're never going to eat any Western food. They're never going to eat anything different than that. They're always going to eat on the cheap. And maybe, some people will, but I can tell you the people I know, most of the older people, they're not going to. I mean, Soy Day Cowboy, how many times do you eat Western food when you come here?
That's a good question, because I try to eat Thai a lot, but man, I do eat Western food. You start getting a hankering for it,
Yeah.
It's hard to just eat the Thai food. I mean, if I'm off fairness. So I would say about 40% of the time I'm eating Western food and 60 Thai.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, listen, you can go to a place like what's the name of that place? Fuji. You go with like for me, I go there with my family. I'm going to spend at least 1,200 to maybe 2,000 baht. It depends.
Yeah.
1,200 to 1,500 is a fair amount, and maybe if you're having an espresso afterwards and the kids want dessert or whatever, it's you're 2,000 baht. 2,000 baht is like $65, man.
Yeah.
Now, when you break that up divided by 4, it's not all that expensive, but still, it's $65. I think Longhorns is trying to say $2K a month would be fine to live. If you're single, even if you have a girlfriend, it's probably doable depending on what your girlfriend is like. If she's a girlfriend that you got to pay, then maybe not. One bedroom furnished condo was 8,000. And when was this? I mean, because I know you can get those now. That's the one thing is that if you really want, you can get places for, and also it depends on the location, but you can get inexpensive places. I knew a guy who was, and this is years ago, he was living down by Victory Monument. He was paying 3,500 baht a month for his studio apartment. And this is a guy who used to have a 3-bedroom townhouse in Phuket. And he was living off of 200,000 baht a month.
Why did he go so cheap? What happened?
Well, his situation changed.
That's a big change. Yeah.
Well, it happened over a couple of years. I mean, it didn't happen immediately. Yeah. So Soy 101/1. Okay. One of the places that my wife was talking about, the condos that she was talking about, is Soy 101, Sukhumvit 101, and it's $15,000 a month, and it includes the utilities, and it's a 1 bedroom. I didn't say. You know what? Are you just like being difficult, or what? Soy Dog was saying 2,000 would work, but this think if you're saying the average fella is going to spend 1,800 on food, that's 54,000, which is 1,700 a month just on food. That just doesn't add up. I'm not saying that the average fella spends that much. And I never did say that. I said some people, for instance, a guy with his wife, and I happen to know a couple of people like this, who they go out for breakfast, they go out for lunch, they go out for dinner. For breakfast, they might go out and they spend 700-800 baht on breakfast for both of them. They go for lunch and they have a small lunch. They might only spend 200-300 baht. Then they go out for dinner and they might spend 1,000 baht for dinner.
Yeah.
So I don't understand what the confusion is. Where does the confusion come in? I'll be looking for a place in Klong Tui. Yeah, well, if you're lucky, you can get a place for 500 baht there, but I don't know that I'd want to live there with the lizards. So a nice hotel room with a nice kitchen for 700 a month. There you go.
By the way,
700 a month.
people think Klong Toi is just those places. There are nice buildings in Klong Toi.
No, there are some good places away from that.
Yeah, close to Am Nut.
Slum area. Yeah, Klong Tui is a big area.
Uh-huh.
But almost, most people think that's the place.
Yeah.
But, remember, there was a lady there who she told me she paid 500 baht a month. That was, what's her name? Oi. She said, I pay 500 baht a month. I don't know what happened to her. I haven't seen her in a while, but, and she had a hard time with that, because she has to buy food. So she was probably getting by on, $100, $125 a month.
Yeah, it's a lot of rice, basically.
Yeah, that's the other thing. And, here's the thing. I haven't even talked about this. I'm talking about a good woman who's your wife. She understands you guys are on a limited budget. Hey, you can live comfortably, but you kind of got to watch your money a little bit. She's not going out to the salon every day spending 500 baht. She may be very considerate about, what's being spent. What's the most expensive area in Bangkok? Is it Bang Rak? I don't know. There's a number of areas that are really, really expensive, man. Tonglor is known as one of the places that's very expensive because they cater to Japanese.
Right. Yeah.
You're going to find anywhere around the U.S. Embassy is pretty expensive on Wireless Road. Some of those condos there, they're going for 100,000 baht.
Also on Chao Phraya near the luxury, like the Four Seasons Hotel.
Yeah, down by the Chao Phraya. So this is the thing. Everybody thinks that I'm not going to pay. I'm going to pay fuck all. I'm going to pay 10,000 for an apartment. The truth is, yeah, you can, but not everybody wants to live that way. I mean, listen, I'm lucky. Honestly, we have an older place, and it's only 7,000 baht. But it's 2 stories. It's got a front yard. It's got a backyard or a side yard. And it's not fantastic, but man, for the money, you can't complain.
Absolutely not.
And we're in a decent area. I mean, this village is considered middle class, and you can get just about anywhere very quickly from here. So, well, you can rough it if you really want to. Well, I can live very cheaply. It's depressing. You can live here for cheap, but let me tell you something. It's not as cheap as it used to be. And I hate to burst somebody's bubble, but it's not as cheap as a couple of years ago, or especially 25, 30 years ago. No, the lady across the street is not open, and she will not be opening again. That's what she
Wow.
told me.
Not even opening again.
She's done, and she's happy with it. She seemed fine. So I'm assuming that
Somebody will fill it.
well, I'm assuming that maybe she has enough money, her place is paid for, and she made money from her noodle shop, and she did a fair amount of business. She got her place fixed up to where she's very comfortable with it, and now for whatever reason she has enough money and she's fine. Good for her.
Yeah, I'm saying that somebody will take that space and open up probably something similar.
No, it's her house.
Oh, it is. Okay. I didn't realize that. Okay.
It's her townhouse. She had her townhouse
With the business.
redone and worked on, and it looks very nice now. And she used to have the noodle shop, and now she doesn't want to. She doesn't want to do it anymore because she doesn't need to. So
Good for her.
yeah, good for her. Well, I was wondering. I was thinking. I know there's some guys out there that are jonesing for some beer. What was it? What is this? As a Westerner supporting a girlfriend in Bangkok, you better have over 100,000 or over per month at a minimum. Now that's just bullshit. Seriously. First of all, it depends on what kind of girl she is. Second of all, why the fuck would anybody do that unless she was, it's really, that's just bullshit, Daniel. Sorry. I'm paying $8,000 one block from the beach, includes utilities, but I'm sure it's because of the situation. Well, it might be. Yeah, exactly. It's bullshit. Daniel, that's just complete horseshit. Okay? There's plenty of girls out there, even, girls who, she requires you to give her money every month. 10, 20,000 for a lot of them is fine. Now, if she's really, really fine, she might need more money. But you should be able to negotiate that with her, especially if it's long term. 100,000 bucks, bullshit, man. You can live in a nice place for, say, 25,000 baht. Okay? I'm just giving you some examples. 25K, you can live in a nice place. Another 25K, you say, is your food. Another 25K is your entertainment. Okay, and then maybe you give her 25K. That's 100K right there. All right. It depends on the lifestyle. Listen, Daniel, I don't give a shit. You know what? I know that there's all kinds of lifestyles, but I'm telling you, because I've been on the cheap and I've been upwards of 100,000. And I can tell you that you don't need that much for a woman. It's complete bullshit. So when you come on here and you say these things, you tell, it's like you're saying to people, "Oh, I've got to pay all this money to a girl in order to have her as my girlfriend in Thailand." That's horse shit. Which is just like you don't have to pay 1,800 for food a day because you're with your wife. But some people want to live that way. I'm not saying that there aren't. Listen, I know a guy who was giving his girl 80,000 a month, and he was living in a place that was, I think it was 150,000 or something like that. He spent 400,000 baht a month because he was constantly going to G clubs and he was doing things like that, giving her gifts. He was an idiot, though, and she wasn't even that hot. I like Chanel and Gucci. Can you buy or not? There you go. No, I'm not paying her other than living expenses. Yeah. Well, I guess if that's what you want, if that's what you want, I'm saying it's possible. Yeah, you could do that. But to say that you need to do that, you better have that in order to have a girlfriend here is complete horse shit. There you go. Buy the herpes too. God. Listen, if you're really smart, they're paying you. I'm serious. If you're really smart, they have money. They have their own fucking money. They
Yeah,
don't
that would
need
be
you.
nice.
Well, I mean, listen, that's the problem with a lot of guys. They think, oh, I'm just going to go there and I'm going to. I understand sometimes you want to pay them to go away. You want to pay them to be at your beck and call. But for the most part, you don't have to pay that. No way. In fact, if you're smart, you ain't paying shit. You're paying for a date, maybe. You're paying to go out. Once in a while, you buy them a gift if you want to be a nice guy. But they better be a hell of a chick. You're going to Rap God? Well, Rap God is going to leave you disappointed, Steven, and I think you're going to pay more than you think. You're going to be paying McDonald's money.
McDonald's money. Like that is, it's so funny. Like that's like a big thing, McDonald's money.
Well, here's the thing. If you got plenty of money, listen, I knew a girl once who was getting $100K a month. Okay? And then, this is a long time ago when I first came to Thailand. I was first really getting into, I just moved here and I didn't really know anything. And she was getting 100,000 a month from a guy from Denmark. Okay? And I figured it out. We would go out sometimes. She'd have 10,000 baht in her pocket. When we came back to my apartment, she wouldn't have any money left. She'd spend it all on us going out. And I figured out I spent like 14 grand in 3 months on her. And I was like, that's not bad. I am finding a place on Happy Street. Me and Coconut Girl will live happily ever after. Well, I don't know if you want the current coconut girl. That might not be the best move, Monash, even for you. You might be better going for the 700-pounder. I don't know. Yeah, never lead with your wallet. But there are people out there, they got plenty of money. This guy had plenty of money. And, he didn't have a problem giving it to her. And I knew another one who was getting $50K. And this is a long time ago. This is right when I moved here. She's getting $50K a month. I was like, what? There are guys that will pay. And to me, I was like, well, he can pay you. I like your style, Steven. Gennaro. Anyway, what do you think about all this money talk there, Mr. Cowboy?
Oh man, I mean,
you love me. You pay me 100,000 baht every month.
I mean, I've never done that because I knew coming in that don't do that. They have a multiple man doing that. But again, we get this skewed view of women in Thailand. And it's
they're not all like that.
No, they're not.
It depends on what. It does depend on, like, listen, if you're making, 10 million baht a month.
Yeah, listen, but it's funny.
Then it's not that much money to piss away 100 grand.
Yeah. I was interesting. Dev in Thailand. In Chiang Mai had an interesting video this week, and it's really talking about
who?
Dev. He's a vlogger in Chiang Mai.
I don't know who that is. You're always bringing up these other vloggers in my channel. I have no fucking idea who they are.
Oh, anyway, he was talking about something, and it was an interesting discussion, which is that guys are coming here, and it's not to be sex pats, but they're coming here to look for that traditional woman. And the traditional woman used to be that she stayed home, took care of everything, and you went to work. So when we say, okay, you're supporting this woman or she's looking for that, so she's just being that traditional woman that everyone wants anyway. And so that's what it's like. You go to, a lot of women are going to take care of the home, take care of the kids or whatever it is. You go off to work or you support, and run the household. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. We've come to a point in our lives, I think, particularly in the West, where if you're a housewife, you're looked down upon. and it's ridiculous. The fact is that
No, but here's the thing, Soy Dog Cowboy. I don't think that a lot of guys really know what a traditional Thai girl is. That just come over here. And they haven't been here for very long, or they don't they haven't spent a lot of time here. In the old days, and I've said this numerous times, but in the old days, and Thai girls will laugh about this now, but they know it's true. In the old days, the guy would go out to work, he would come home, the girl was waiting for him, dinner was waiting.
Yeah.
Dinner cooking, or it was on the table. After dinner, she'd give him a massage. She'd run his bath. She'd clean him all up. She'd have sex with him. And she would go to the end of the bed and give her best why and say, "Thank you, my husband."
Well,
and
that's
people
crazy.
don't know this.
Yeah,
And this is the truth. The God's honest truth. You tell that to a girl now, I told it to my wife, and my wife goes, "You know that ain't me." And I'm like, "I know." Now, will she cook for me? Yes. If I say, "Can I have a massage?" she'll give one to me. If she's not too tired, if she's not busy, yeah, okay. But this is the thing. In the old days, the girl was there for the man, basically, just like what a lot of guys want now. They come over here, they want the girl to be with them all the time. So that if they want to have sex, boom, she's there. They want to have her there to help him with whatever it is, because he can't handle, everything here. He doesn't speak the language or whatever. Then that's what they're for. They're there to help him, be his guide, and all these other things. All right, let me go on here. Never pay a woman. What is this? 100,000. Probably some guys really have to pay that much, because otherwise no woman would stick around them. That's not always true. That's no more true than guys come to Thailand only, and they pay for women here simply because they can't get women back home wherever they're from. It's no more true than that. Guys come here sometimes because they want to have their pick, and they want to have as much fun as they can in a short period of time, and they just figure, fuck it, I'm paying it. It's an entertainment expense. Never pay a woman who won't give a refund. My girl. I didn't know you had a girl. My girl has me on a daily spending limit. Oh, Jesus. Good idea or bad idea for her to hold the money? Let me ask you something. Do you speak Thai? That's my number one question. Do you speak Thai, and how long have you known her? And how long have you been in Thailand, and how many times have you been in Thailand? How much do you know about Thailand? That's what I'm getting at. I mean, they like to do that shit. And are you giving her any money? Let's see here. Not a good idea. Get any notions of women out of your head. You meet a woman, it works out or not, the end. Thank you. Thank you, my husband. The happy ending. If choose wrong girl, next. Didn't I say that? In fact, I told that to some of the Starbucks girls. I told it to older Starbucks girls, and they're crying to me. And I'm like, hey, honey, I don't want to hear it. I'm like, it's not that big of a deal. If the guy ain't working out, if he's cheating on you, what the fuck do you want him for? Next, go to the next guy until you meet one that, he does want you. I'm kind of waiting I would like to hear what Ron has to say. I'm curious. Inquiring minds like to know. I personally wouldn't let her hold my money unless it was, say, you're in a market or something like that. Like, say you go to CASHAPP and you want a few things, and if you go and first of all, you might not speak the language. They might not speak the language, although most of them do. But it's better to have the girl go and go, hey, I want these plates, or I want this, or I want that. How much is it? And they'll get a better price than you will. Okay, in a situation like that, you go, here's $500, here's $1,000, whatever they need. You think the bride price is going to go the way of the dodo? It already has, Steve. It's going that way. It's going that way, and it has been. I know less and less people are paying It's not really, well, it is, but I can tell you don't have daughters. No, I have 2 sons. Happiness is fleeting. Happy ending about 30 seconds. Oh, God.
Come on, that's funny.
Yeah, I guess. Let me see something. Oh, God. I forgot all about that. Women get attached. Oh, I don't know what that means. Women get attached. Yeah, they can. That's why you just be upfront with them and tell them. And that's what they do here in Thailand a lot. Even the women do it. And Soy Dog Cowboy, you should know this. There are a lot of Thai women, especially now, the newer generation, who is like, I don't want a boyfriend.
Yeah.
They have a special friend. They have a guy who one day may become their boyfriend, but they just don't want. Yeah, right. They can't go from guy to guy. Okay. It means clingy. Well, I guess some can. This is why baseball bats were invented. A gig, a gak,
Geek. Right. Yeah.
a pun said. Um, that's what they do. They have a guy who is their special friend. They basically are fairly faithful to that person, or maybe they're not. But if they're not, it's not a big deal because the guy's probably not. Now, in the long run, if they are together for a while, they're seeing each other, and they really don't want anybody else because they like each other. They end up being boyfriend and girlfriend, and then maybe things work out. But that's how the women are now. And like, think about it. I've talked to numerous women, whether they're in Starbucks or in the mall or wherever it might be, through my wife, and a lot of them, they're just like, "Hey, listen." Well, you don't have to be faithful because that person is not your girlfriend or your boyfriend. I know that some women may not understand that, but they don't have to. As long as the guy and the girl understand it, they have an understanding. What does it matter? So in other words, if the guy calls up and says, "Honey, are you busy on Friday night? You want to come over?" And she says, "Yeah, okay. Great." But if she says, "Nah, I'm going out with my girlfriends," the guy, he's not going to be able to go, "Hey, you're my girlfriend. Why aren't you spending time with me?" That ain't going to happen. Well, I'm surprised that, what's his name? Be More Ron has not
No, he
answered.
might have left. No.
He might have left already. Personally, I think, unless you're talking about a small amount of money, and second of all, allowing one to make a budget for you is just be a man. And and anybody you can, if somebody talks to him, you can tell him I said that. That's fine, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I mean, I didn't see that you answered. No, I didn't. I really didn't see that you answered. My girl has me on a daily spending limit now. Good idea or bad idea for her to hold money. After that, I don't see anything. So I'm sorry. And I mean, when I say be a man, I mean like, hey, you're in charge. This is Asia. She ain't in charge of you, man. She's not in charge of all that. Man up and say, listen, this is what I'm spending. This is what I need. And, you've been here for a while, I believe, at least a couple of months. So you should know about these things. Are you two people, Ron? Yeah, I didn't see anything else from Be More Ron. Maybe you have blocked words. Well, if I had blocked words, I would see the message. So I haven't seen anything. Let me see here. Let me go into the YouTube. No, I have no blocked messages. So it says she has me on a daily spending limit. Good idea or bad idea, and that's all I've seen. I don't know why. It happens sometimes. Oh, I tell you what. Answer me this. Are you paying her? Are you giving her money for herself?
Scott, I'm going to hit the hay here.
All right, there, Soy Dog. I figured
It's always,
I figured you're
pleasure.
getting a little worn out there.
Yeah, but nice last minute stream. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. I'll only be on for another 15 minutes or so. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, man.
All right. Nice of him to go. Okay, yeah, if you don't mind, I'm just curious, I'm not here to slam you or anything, but you asked the question. So I'd like to answer it. And I always like to know just for experience. Buenos dias. Buenos dias, Dalo. I don't think it's a bad idea. Like I said, if you're going like somewhere like a market, or you're going to go shopping for something in particular that she has to negotiate, as long as it's not a huge amount of money, and if you know the girl and she's not the sort who's going to just run away, then give her a couple $1,000. Not a big deal. I wouldn't go giving her 200,000, 500,000 baht or something. A couple together budgets, that's okay, but I make my own decisions with my money. There you go. It's a little different. I'm married. We have the family pot, which is for family things. She has money, I have money. And that's perfectly okay. It works well. It's worked well for a long time. All right, let me shut these down here. Must be getting hot outside because I got the air. Yeah, it's cranked all the way up, and it's already starting to get warm. Oh, shit. "92 degrees. Feels like 108. 61% humidity, 30% chance of rain. Winds south 3 miles an hour. Do not. Okay. You do not pay her. So, that's good, I guess. Depends. It's one thing if she's trying to help you. I mean, it's a fine line. I don't want to be, judgmental or anything. If you, well, yeah, that's the other thing. Major Phun Thok in central Bangkok at the moment. I don't know what you're putting in there. I mean, there's a lot of things that I'm like, why wouldn't they show that? Gennaro put my name in the other day, and he said it didn't work. He had to put it in with a K, which I have no idea because I'm not putting a block on my name. So I don't know. Some of it is YouTube and their algorithm and all that. I don't know. But what I would say is, if you trust her, this is the thing, Let me just ask you this. Do you speak Thai? And I'm not talking about, Sawadee Kap. I'm talking about, can you speak enough Thai where you can speak in sentences and you can understand what she's saying in Thai? Or do you just sit there and just kind of wait and then she's done and, because that's something else that's kind of important. No. Okay. I would learn how to speak Thai. I think that's important. I just wouldn't get too entrenched. That's about the best thing I can say. Don't get entrenched too quickly and learn to speak the language. And I don't know why she's putting you on a budget. You're a man. You can make your own goddamn budget. You could take her advice, but at the end of the day, it's your money. And I can remember when I first started coming here, there was a girl who would say to me, you don't have to stay in a hotel. And at first I was like, wow, okay, thanks, And then I figured it out and I'm like, And I was like, I wonder if she wants like money at the end and she wants me to have more money. Finally, I just went, listen, I'm going to stay in my own hotel. I want to be in a hotel. Let's see here. I'll give her some spending money, but no way she's holding it. I don't pay her, do not. It's already hot in Taiwan. We're not legally married, but live like a married couple. Just give her your credit card. That's worse. I wouldn't do that. You want to give her a credit card? Here's what you do. You open up a bank account. You have the bank book. You give her the debit card, and you only put a certain amount in there for her to spend. Major phone talk. Oh my God, it didn't show again. I keep typing a long answer. It doesn't disappear. No. YouTube has themselves confused. I'm done with my money and it frustrates her. At the end of the day, it's my money. I use her as my ATM because it's cheaper that way. Well, let me ask you this because I don't know your whole story, but like, what are you here for? Because you're a fairly young guy from what I remember. What's Soy Dog's social plan of attack or already has someone? I don't understand that. What is Soy Dog Cow? I gotta put my glasses on. What is Soy Dog Cowboy's social life plan of attack or already has someone? Now he doesn't have anybody. I think he wants to remain single. I cannot speak for anyone else. My relationship is harmonious. We're not out to hurt each other. Yeah, well, that's good. I'm lucky my wife is very careful with our money. We also live within our means. I keep 50,000 baht in her account. Okay, now let me ask you this. If she spent all that 50,000 baht, would it hurt? Would you be like, shit, I have no more money? And again, the more important question is, what are you doing here? Are you planning on staying here long term? I mean, I know it's good to have a chick and all that, and especially if you're into her and she's hot, then everything's good. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I got kind of what is this here? No, not at all, and she doesn't spend any of it. Well, have you had any conversation with her about does she want money or does she have a job? It means outgoings don't exceed ingoings. I like all these guys' answers. Just say she's the boss already. She works. Okay, so she has her own money. I don't know how long like I say, what are your plans for being here? Are you planning on being here for as long as you can, for the rest of your life? Are you planning on going back and then coming back and forth? I mean, it doesn't really have anything to do with her. I mean, but when I knew I was going to leave, I was always just kind of like, I never got into it too much with them. And I certainly never gave any of them that kind of money. I just didn't do it. Not that she isn't worthy of it or anything. I don't know because I don't know the girl. And if she hasn't taken anything from you now, why would you worry, Does she have tattoos? Yeah, we're going to go back to that. I mean, to me, 50 grand, I'd be pissed if she ripped me off. Doesn't sound like she's going to rip you off, but you never know. But it would piss me off. I mean, if she's stuck around, there must be a reason, Well, all those are good questions. But those are questions for him to ask her. It's not really for us. And again, I'm not someone who thinks just because they work in a bar doesn't mean they can't be good people. I'm just saying, if you're a guy and you don't speak Thai and you're new to Thailand, there's a hell of a lot you think you know that you don't know. And you might find yourself in a hell of a position. And I think it's you want to take your time. You don't want to rush anything, you know? Anyway, good little stream today. Well, you know what? I always think of it like first comes me, and then like when it comes to like when I was first came here and everything, it was like, hey, it's all about me. It's not about her. Whatever's left over, that's fine. Plane ticket for June 1st. I'm trying to extend. I've noticed since 2008 I came to see her. It doesn't work in a bar, ever has. Okay. Well, I hope it works out for you. Really. I would just say be careful. Even if she's working and all that. Just because a girl's not a bar girl doesn't mean she's not going to take you. Doesn't mean she doesn't have expectations that are different than yours. And I think that is important to talk about. Maybe I should put together a little pamphlet of what you need to talk to a woman about when you come over here, because a lot of times I know a lot of guys who, and it happened to me in the beginning, where it would be like the girl didn't want any money, and I was like, wow, that's good. All right, well, she likes me, and then it's like 2 weeks later, time for me to go, and she's kind of like going, and you're like, what? You don't give me any money? I stay with you this whole time. You don't give me any money? That happened a couple of times. Yeah, if you're not married, hold on to your money. Unless, listen, if 50K ain't that much to you and you don't care, don't make a stink about it, Exactly. You can listen to me and, you might learn a little something or you might not. But eventually, if you've got half a brain, you will learn for yourself and you will pick up the experience. And either you'll make it through and you'll come out unscathed, or you're going to come out broke. And that's about how it works. But I think you're fairly young, and if you're going to if you're going to get one, if you want one, and you're young, I don't remember how old you are. Maybe you're in your 30s or something like that. You better get one. You better get one like sooner than later, because eventually you're going to get older, and then it's going to be about the money. When you're younger, it's kind of it's much easier. They're looking at you. Wow, he's really cute. Oh my god. Oh, he's so. And then they're with you, and they're like, he's so sweet. And then the next thing you know, you're hooked up. When you get a little bit older, it's more about like, what's he got going? Well, listen, I got a baby to support or whatever it is. And then, before you know it, you're like, you're in a situation. At the end of the day, she stayed with you. I would throw her 1,000 baht for every day she was with you at the end of the trip. I don't know, but I would do that. Seriously, I don't know, but I would do that. If you really want to do something, just tell her to leave the money in the bank account or whatever. Buy her a gift of some kind that, she's really going to really, really enjoy or treasure. If, and even that, it's like, you don't have to. You want her to stick around? Don't. And see what she does. I can tell you that now, most of the time, like birthdays, Christmas, all this kind of shit, it's not all that important, man. It's really not. It's better to like have a nice dinner with them than to go out and spend, $500 on a gift for them. Have a nice dinner with them, a nice little evening, you know, that goes a long way. Contrary to what some people think, money is not everything to them. They do know that it's important, and it is important in life, which is a perfect segue. If you want a T-shirt, look in the description. Use the code Cheddar, as in Cheddar. There you go. And there you get 20% off of all T-shirts and coffee mugs. Gold and food makes Thai ladies happy. Well, there's something else that makes them happy, but I'm not going to get into that. It's not, you can take the word Thai out of the equation. This makes ladies happy. Think about it. Especially if they like you, or love you. Anyway, interesting. It's always interesting to talk to people who they just got a new girl or whatever when they just came over here, or fairly new, or maybe they met them online and they've been conversing with them for a year. And I know a couple of guys. What happened? What was the guy's name in the chat that was like he didn't know if he wanted to be with this girl and he hadn't seen her in a year because of the virus. He hadn't seen her in like a year, and then he was contemplating breaking up with her, and she was contemplating breaking up with him. I can't remember the guy, but he comes in once in a while. I like to know how that went. Long distance relationships are always difficult, but I think he was married to her, so that makes it even tougher. Anyway. Anybody have anything else to say? To ask? Because if not, I'm out of here. What is it now? Noon already. I started late today. You're going to dinner at her mom's house today. Oof. Buddy, I hope you know what you're doing. That's all I'm going to say. A visit to the mother's house. I don't know if that's your first visit to her mother's house, but that's obviously that's an important thing, I don't know who Steve is. There's no Steve here. My name is not Steve, as is evidenced by the name of my channel. And if there's one thing I don't particularly like is answering to a name that is not my name. Ron needs to hear more from experts in Thailand. Is this the Chuck? As in bum gun Chuck or ass crack Chuck? Thanks for the advice, not first visit. The whole family knows me. Okay. Well, that's good. Nevertheless, be careful what you say. I don't know. It depends on your relationship. You might be getting away with saying anything now. Well, then, Chuck, how would you know? Really? Chuck needs to hear more from experts in Thailand. I think he's heard from a few already today. But yeah, it never. Sometimes if you listen to too many people, then it's not a good thing. If I put in your name, it doesn't come up on the feed. That is crazy, because that is not banned. I've never have put my name in as something that gets blocked. So YouTube is something's going on. Brown Eyed Chuck. Yeah. Fortunately, we didn't get that deep into the crevice, if you know what I mean. Well, good luck to you, Be More Ron. I really, I do hope that it turns out well for you. Listen, if you've been talking to her for 3 years, listen, at some point you either got to give them the trust or you don't, so, that's why they call love, taking a chance. You got to put yourself out there. You don't want to put yourself out there and have some card sitting there that she has the PIN number to and she can take out $1 million baht, Yeah, that's strange. I don't know what's going on here. Because I'm not seeing, the thing is I'm not even seeing I'm not seeing anything blocked. Usually something will come up that says, this message is hidden. Do you wish to unblock it or something like that? So that is a bit of a problem. I don't know. I'm going to have to check into that. I'll have to look into it and see. But I never put my name in there. I mean, that would be stupid for me to do that. Up to you, as they say. Yes, it is up to you. I trust my girlfriend with my life, but that is a product of years. That's the other thing, is that while, you can say, I'm going to take a chance and trust you, to truly trust them, it takes time. I mean, listen, you're talking to somebody. Listen, I met my girlfriend when she, my wife, when she was, how old was she? Let me think here. God, what am I? I don't even, the years have, so many years have gone by now. I don't even know how old I was. What is she now? She's 44, 21. She was like 22, 23. And I was 36, 37, 36? Yeah, 36 or 37. She was 22, 23. I think she was almost 23. So more than 20 years. And, the majority of the time we're always together, except maybe when I'm on a trip or something like that. But, give it time. Give it time. So it is agreed that for the most part, if an older guy wants a younger girl, they're going to be a financial part of it. I never agreed with that. I never said that. Depends on the difference of age. I met a girl in person in Bangkok when she was 26, and now she's 38, still solid. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I mean, listen, when I met her, I was 35. What was I, 36? What did I say? Something like that. Yeah, about 36, 37. I think I was 36. And she was 22. And the financial has never been a part of our relationship. We have certain goals that we both want and that are both, and certain things are important to us, like getting our kids through college. That's important. Making sure we're not broke when we get older. That's important. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, dude, no offense, but I just don't really watch other channels, and I know I should. Um, it's just, I just can't. For me, it's really hard for me to. I can barely watch myself, to be honest. I hate watching myself on YouTube, and I really don't watch many channels. I have started watching Bald and Bankrupt again, although I don't think he's put anything out in a while. And I watched some Harold Balder the other day, and other than that, I really might watch some news once in a while. You were fortunate to meet her before the YouTube female anti-Falang advice videos. Oh, jeez. I don't even know that they have those, but it doesn't surprise me. Yeah, whatever. I don't even know at this point, to be honest. I mean, I don't know. It's also a little different because we have children together. Yeah, I don't know if he's in Africa right now or that's older footage. So I'm curious to know that. I never see anybody wearing masks. I mean, listen, we got 2 kids. We've raised them. The kids think a certain way of her, and they think a certain way of me, and they think a way of us together. And we're a family, and we are a very, very close knit family. So is the skits if you like. Well, I don't like motorsports. I don't give a shit about them. To be honest. I mean, no offense. I don't care. I really don't care much about other Thai channels. I have no desire to watch any of them, and I can barely stand myself. I mean, I'm just being honest. I can barely stand my own videos. I can barely stand watching my streams. I can barely stand watching shit. I've been to probably, I would say I've been to probably more places than the majority of people that live in Thailand. And, less so in the last, say, 5 years, but for the first, say, 20 years, forget about it, man. I was all over the place, All right, Mr. Monash, you take it easy. Got to go for my walk. Chug D. Choke D. Same in Uganda. They got real diseases there. Yeah, enjoy that walk, Mr. Monash. There you go. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know how we got on the... we always get on the subject of women or, yeah, they are. But right now, it's not exactly a great time for them to go. So... And at least one of them will probably end up going to a university there. We'll see. But, that's the other thing. I mean, there are quite. This is the thing. Like, and I've said this many times. Some people maybe don't get it because they think that it's all about just coming here. Oh, you got your girlfriend, or you're an old man and you've been married, and you don't have any kids with you or whatever. Eventually, my kids will probably leave, go on their own, go their own way. I don't know. If they don't want to, they don't have to. They're more than willing. They're more than willing and able to stay here. But if they decide, no, I want to get my own place, and they've already talked about it, then that's fine too. It's what kids do. So we'll see. I'm gonna be here for a while. Let me see here. That's another thing. You hook up with some Thai girl. No, Patya Bob, you'll see it. You'll see it soon. You will see it shortly. What was I going to say? I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to say. Too many things on my mind. Oh, I know. That this is the thing. Like, I'll give you an example. Patya Bob, basically, he's a single guy. All right? He had a girlfriend. Longhorns, single guy. Soy Dog Cowboy, single guy. All right? There are some guys here. Let me see if I can find any of them. Daniel Clint. He says he's got a girl here. There's several people. They got either girlfriends or they got wives. We're all living slightly different lives, and I don't know. I knew that eventually I would have kids, but I didn't know exactly when, and I didn't know how I would go about doing it. I didn't know if it would be here. But listen, I got kids, and they're good kids, and they they work hard in school and they do a good job. They get good grades and they're decent people. So, that's good. And we have a close family, so if you're going to be single and you come here and you want to hook up, or you're single and you've hooked up and you've got a girlfriend here and you want to stay here, then you got to figure out, okay, if I'm going to stay here, do I want to have kids here? Because if I had it my way when we were younger, we might have moved back to the States and just put them in U.S. Schools. I don't know. I don't know how that would have worked out. But it didn't work out that way because I was involved in some things and I didn't want to leave, Johnny, I've been asking about you. How you doing? How's life? See if we got any big news for the moment. Doesn't look like it. Yeah. I don't see how. I don't care what they say. Here we go. Listen to this. Pattaya Bob. 28 people arrested at private villa parties in Pattaya for violating disease control orders. Oh, shit. Yes, good mate. Been out looking at display homes. Okay, so you're all right. Thumbs up. Thank you. Yeah, by the way, please don't forget to smash that thumbs up button. Would appreciate that very much. Any trips or meanderings planned? No, not right now. As soon as it's possible, I will go somewhere. I will go to an island. I may go to Kopayam. I don't know though, because I don't want to be moving around. And like I've been saying, the issue here is, I guess if you're single and you don't mind, and then it's okay. But like for me, I do mind. I don't want to cross over into another province and they test me and they say, you're positive. We got to put you in the hospital. Then I'm stuck in the hospital for 2 weeks. I don't want that to happen. And every place that I go now, they're going to check me. They're going to test me. So, it's not worth it right now. And it's on the edge of whether it's going to get better or it's going to get worse. This is worse than the first wave, and they haven't quite locked everything down, although it might as well be. Shit. So yeah, it'll be a couple of weeks at least. And don't forget, in Southeast Asia, you are entering the rainy season, the flu and respiratory season, and it will all be labeled COVID. Well, yeah, that's another thing. Although I did just get my, yes, this is the third wave. I just got my, what's it called? The quad variant. Is that what it is? Quad, shit. Quad. Quadrivalent influenza vaccine. I just got that yesterday. And I'm just now starting to feel a little bit better from it. Just for yesterday, I felt a little bit sleepy and my arm was sore. Now my arm is all right. Cannot say the channel owner's name in chat. Wow, that is wild. I'm gonna have to check on that. See why. Maybe I'll do some test chats and bring somebody in and see what's going on. But I don't know. We'll have to see. That's okay, Ron. How's the holiday going? Yeah, quadrivalent flu vaccine. So I had that, and so hopefully, I'm hoping that will help at least with the possible flu result turning up positive. But here right now it says private parties at luxury pool villas in a Pattaya neighborhood were raided by police last night, and 28 people were arrested. Around 50 officers from the Mung district and Chonburi stations were called to the area after neighbors complained about that the parties could potentially lead to the spread of COVID-19. A birthday party for an English teacher was hosted at one of the villas while another party was going on across the street. Many of those arrested are foreign nationals, including 13 people from the Philippines, 6 from Russia, 2 from France, 1 from UK, 1 from Canada, 1 from Albania, 1 from Cambodia. The other 3 are from Thailand. Pattaya News said many of the foreigners were shocked by the raid. Apparently, they tried to convince the police they weren't breaking the law because the event was private. Under the emergency order, all gatherings that risk the spread of COVID-19 are prohibited. First, it was 50 people, and then I saw 20 people. So I don't know, what the deal is. Does your insurance cover the annual finger test? What finger test is that? To get in the yin yang? If so, I believe it does. The world has never seen a trinodal breakout. Interesting, this. I'm wondering where this place was here, because it doesn't really tell you where it was. Yeah, it doesn't just say where it was. It just says Pattaya. So that's not good. It's just Phuket reopening will go ahead as planned. Let me see something here. Let me revise this. I don't know how it was 23 seconds ago, because that was like an hour ago. And time to get it done. What? Well, you don't have to remind me of that. Listen, I already got Lori telling me I need a colonoscopy. And, you guys and sticking things up your ass. I'm just not into that. I don't. When it comes time, I will do it. But I'm waiting for. I'm going to change my policy in 2 months, because you can only change it at certain times of the year. So I'm changing mine. I'm bumping it up. I'm getting like 2 higher, 2 levels up. Well, you've been putting it off for years. Yeah, I know. I don't need to be reminded. Smile for the camera. You want me to buy an airline ticket to China for a practice run? Are they still doing the anal swab in China? Be curious to know. Has anybody gone there and had the anal swab done? Who knows when the bars will open again? I mean, everything is shut down right now, okay? I hate to burst your bubble, but I wouldn't plan on it anytime soon. And if it stays shut for a couple of months longer, I wouldn't plan for some of those bars to ever open again. I mean, seriously. I'm not being facetious, or, I'm not joking around. I'm dead serious about that. This stuff doesn't happen by October. I'd say October, by the end of the year. A lot of those bars are never coming back. And there's some, they're not coming back already. So This is the thing. I wouldn't count. Yeah, I would not count on, like coming to Thailand just to hang out at the bars. I wouldn't even think about that. And I was talking about this to several people, but like, forget about going to bars and like, hey, I'm gonna go pick up a chick, man. You want to pick up a chick, you're gonna be going online, swipe, Tinder, Thai Friendly or whatever. You're gonna be going on one of those sites, hooking up. Or maybe you'll get lucky and you'll go to 7-Eleven and you can, who knows? That's if 7-Elevens are still open. I mean, like even in Phuket, on Soy Bangla, 7-Eleven and Fresh Mart, boom, shut down. They're gone. They ain't coming back. So that's a video. I need to work on that video probably today and tomorrow. I'm going to work on it and we'll see, Maybe there will be a surge of Farang bar owners in the future. I don't think so. I don't see it happening. Maybe in like 2-3 years. I just don't see it happening, though. Yes, the damage is done and ongoing. Thailand may never be the same. Daddy Bear Bar. Well, I keep saying this, but when Burger Kings, when McDonald's, when Starbucks, when 7-Elevens, when Fresh Marts, when all these places, they are completely closed and they're disappearing. That ought to tell you a lot. Because they don't just close up and pull out. I mean, they got money behind them, They don't have to close right away. And especially places like McDonald's and Burger King, they have the grab customers. And the Food Panda and the, what is it, Gojek, and I can't even keep up with all of them now. But they have all these other places. On the to-do list, Longhorns, the bar to be seen at, the Daddy Bear Bar. Listen, Chuck can open that bar up for himself. Oh, man. Johnny, are you locked down there now, or what's the deal? I know that I forget it. I think it was Monash or somebody said they were locked down for 3 days. Let's see here. The Thai government is adamant the planned reopening of the southern island of Phuket to vaccinated foreign tourists will go ahead. However, with COVID-19 infections rising across the country, some tourism operators say they need more clarification on how. Commerce Minister Churin Laksanawisit insists the Phuket sandbox model is on track for July 1st. We have neither canceled nor changed the plan to reopen Phuket on July 1st. Currently, the province is on course to speed up its vaccination program as its inhabitants prepare to reopen and receive foreign tourists. The Phuket vaccination program has made much progress as around 100,000 doses have now been given to the people. We can meet the target. I would be leery about that. Well, that's the big joke, be moron, that it's one of those kind of places. No, okay, here. Oh, okay. Even some big box stores are closing, like Walmart is closing some locations. Wow. Perth are locked down for 3 days. Somebody sneezed. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I agree. When big corporate stores close, that definitely tells you something about the future outlook. Some of those food cart ladies made the bulk of the money from nightlife patrons on their way home, especially from bar girls. Wonder how they're surviving. Yeah, who knows? Let me continue to read this here. According to a Bangkok Post report, tourism operators in Phuket are calling on the government to clarify how the plan will work. With only 2 months left to prepare, they say rules on entry requirements, travel bubbles, international flight arrangements, and vaccinations all need to be confirmed before then. Operators say it is highly unlikely 70% of the island will be vaccinated on time, which remains a priority if the plan is to proceed. However, the eternally optimistic governor of, I think it's supposed to be internally optimistic governor of the Tourism Authority of Thailand, Yuttasak Supason, said officials are drawing up the standard operating procedures that will govern the sandbox model. We will submit a complete plan to the Center for Economic. I love how they have all these different organizations and these acronyms. And we will submit a complete plan to the Center for Economic Situation Administration to receive approval by the end of April, then start taking more concrete action. In the third quarter, this Phuket Sandbox scheme should attract at least 120,000 international arrivals, generating 11 billion baht. So there you go. Triple with people buying online. Yeah, I finally got my delivery yesterday. A delivery on Sunday through what's the name of that place? Flash Express. They deliver on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. And, you know, a lot of times now it's like, do you want to go shopping? Just go shopping online. Let's see here. Meanwhile, Phuket Tourist Association, Bumikit Ruktangam. Oh, my God, that one's a hard one. Ruktangam. Bumikit Ruktangam says tourism officials in the province are still committed to reopening, but need more clarification from Bangkok. Vaccines are just one of many components to make a reopening successful. We still require endorsement from other related authorities such as the Public Health and Foreign Affairs Ministry, particularly about whom Thailand has initiated travel agreements with. This is a crucial factor as it's hard to bring in visitors if they are required to enter quarantine upon their return home. Well, that's something else too. And look, you see that like when Lori went back and she went to Hawaii, she was required to quarantine. So this is the kind of thing they're trying to avoid. They don't want people to come in here. They're vaccinated. Then when they go back home, they got to quarantine. It's such a mess. Such a mess, And every time I start getting dejected about this, I try to find something good to do or something good to look at, something to read, something to listen to, because I don't want to let myself get bummed out about this because there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing you can do about it. That's the thing. We just got to sit tight. It's a joke, Dowlow. Really, it's a joke. About 1% of the population has been vaccinated, and that's mainly essential workers, healthcare workers, and some people down in the South. But they don't have the vaccinations ready to give to the remainder of the population. It's going to be a while. They're supposed to vaccinate something like 50 million people by the end of the year, and my wife was saying it ain't going to happen. She's like, they'll be lucky to get that done in 2 years. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but we'll see. Unbelievable. So we still require endorsement. Okay, where was I here? Let's see here. Vaccines are just one of many components to make reopening successful. We still require endorsement. This is a crucial factor as it's hard to bring in visitors if they are required to quarantine upon their return home. So, yeah. 2,048 new COVID infections and 8 deaths. Oh, man. If you see this, man, I got to do the screen. I'm going to have to do that. Let me see if I can do this real quick. I don't know where you heard that. What I've heard is it's about 2,000 per dose, per shot. So 4 to 5,000 to get like AstraZeneca. And other than that, I don't know. So I haven't heard anything about, it only costing $1,500 a pop, but could be. There's a picture. Oh man, where is it here? Let's see if I can. I don't want to show this just because I don't feel like doing that to the photographer. If you go to this page here, this is about the Phuket reopening, and you work your way down to about the middle of the page. Wow. You'll see the field hospital they have set up, and it's not good. And you go down farther, you'll see there's a graphic showing the number of infected cases and how much it's jumped up just this month, and how many deaths have occurred this month. But let me give you this link here. Yeah, you got to get tested before you go back. Like within 72 hours before leaving or something like that. All right, there's the link right there, the tiger. It's got a thing about the Phuket. But if you go down about halfway, you'll see that there's a picture of the where it says COVID update. You'll see one of the field hospitals, and basically all it is it looks like a gymnasium, and it's just one cot after another after another after another. I mean, I guess it's better than nothing. I don't know, but Thailand is really more cautious. I think that the people are more willing to wear masks than in the United States. They don't have this whole privacy issue, like and freedom. You can't tell me what to do, They don't really, they're not doing that. A lot of U.S. acting like COVID is over. I've heard that people are getting a little bit lackadaisical about what's going on. This is not really a new time slot. I just happened to do an impromptu. I didn't want to do one. I didn't want to do a stream, and then I just figured, you know what? I need one. It's good for me to do this. Because I was a bit irritated with what's going on. So I figured it'd be good. And, it just happened that I started at 9:30. A lot of people don't like it this late because it's too late. Like in the U.S., it's too late for some people. For like an old man like Soy Dog Cowboy, he's he's got to knock out. He's got to knock out by by 11 o'clock at night. Anyway, it's about time for lunch, which I don't know what I'm going to have for lunch. I may have some dim sum, kanom jeep, which fortunately we have a place across the street. They make excellent dim sum. Either that, or I'm going to have the place down the street bring some of the stuff that Nicholas had yesterday, which was the barbecued pork. It's only 50 baht. Good stuff, tasty. And I really don't want like anything like ordered through Grab or any of that stuff because it's just don't need it, 1:30 here, 1:30 a.m. here is Ohio. We're not acting like it's over. It's good to realize you can live with it and not give up your life until told otherwise. Well, I'm glad you feel that way. I feel like I've given up a lot of my life here. And it's just it's a mental thing. It's you got to have a little bit of a shift in your thinking. And I understand this because there's sometimes when I'm just like, this sucks. This is so freaking bad. And then I'm like, what am I thinking, man? It's not that bad. If I want to go somewhere, I can go. It's a matter of what is safe for me and my family. Really, that's about how I look at it, though. What's the point in doing it? Like, if I want to get some groceries now, I know now already it may take 2 or 3 days for them to deliver because there's a backup. There's a backlog of orders. So I start putting together a list of things I want to order. Now I don't need to go to the grocery. I could go to the grocery. And the problem with going to the grocery now is that if you go into one place, like in the mall, Ngam Wang Wan, where they had an outbreak, everybody who's in the mall is supposed to go in and get checked. So if I'm in the mall Bangkok and somebody tests positive, guess what? I got to go in and get checked. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's not. But when I can just order it and have it delivered, why go? Indian numbers just keep increasing. Not sure how they're going to beat it. 354,000 yesterday. Yeah, it's crazy. So that means in 3 days, like more than 1 million people are going to be infected with it. I don't even know what to say, really. What do you say about this? Besides, it sucks. It's a huge pain in the ass. It's a conspiracy. It's not a whole lot you can say. Just put one foot in front of the other and do what you got to do. I don't particularly like staying at home. I like knowing if I feel like going somewhere, I just go. And now I go and my wife will be like, do you really need to go? Do you really need to go? No, not really. Well, why are you going? So, anyway. All right, guys. I think we should call it 3 hours and 15 minutes. I don't know if there's anything else to talk about that we haven't talked about already. And I need to go get some lunch. Probably get some Canome Jeep. I don't know. We'll see. Depends on if Nicholas is up, because Nicholas is the one who always goes across the street and gets stuff. But Daniel, take care. Take care. Everybody take care. Really appreciate everybody watching. Please remember to click like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Yeah, I'm going to have to find out about this. As the channel owner, I'm going to have to find out how come my name can't be put into the chat. Do people in Thailand know how to wear masks correctly? It's insane how many people here don't. People know how, they just don't want to put them on. I mean, that's the bottom line. It's like, I got a mask right here. I don't know how many masks I got in here, but I got a mask right here, and I can tell you that if it's really hot and there's nobody around, people just go like this. They don't care, Somebody comes around, they pull it up. Not the best thing to do, but All right, Johnny, you take care. Good to see you're all right. Our numbers were increasing like that too as several months ago. India has 1.3 billion. Hopefully it'll get better soon. Yeah, I think they've only done I forget how many, 1% or something of their population has been vaccinated, something like that. Not nearly enough. So hopefully everything. That's a. They're already talking about, and I saw a video that Longhorn sent me. They're already talking about they may have to start burning bodies on the side of the road because they have no more. They may not have room if things keep getting worse. They're not going to have room for all the bodies. They can't even cremate them properly. So that's horrible. And hopefully that there are some countries that are helping out and that are sending oxygen and a bunch of other things. So hopefully that will help them. But why isn't, I don't know if they have or not, but why isn't Thailand reaching out to the United States, going, "Hey, can we get some vaccines from you?" I don't know. I'm really disappointed about the vaccine. They've waited and waited and waited and waited, and now Thailand's at the back of the line. That's what it seems like. So, why so small a percentage if they are producing? You got me. I don't know all the answers, but those blue masks are made in China. There's a lot of not good information on those masks coming out of Canada's health department. Yeah. This is what I mean. I want some good news. Tell me they have a mask that you don't even know it's on. You just I don't know. You put it over your nose and it shrinks onto your nose and your mouth and you don't even know that it's on because it's so porous, but yet it doesn't allow the virus in. Give me something like that. Tell me that they have a vaccine that everybody can get in a matter of a day or two, and we're going to all be okay and everything's going to be all right, and we're going to go back to the old normal. And none of that's going to happen. Even me going to some beach area where there's no people is a pain in the ass right now, and it's risky. Which is what irritates me. So, anyway, guys, I will talk to you later. Please remember to hit that thumbs up again. Smash that thumbs up. Smash that subscribe button. Take a look down in the description for the ways you can help out with this channel. And don't forget to use the code CHEDDA, CHEDD, CHEDDA, CHEDDA, and you get 20% off all t-shirts and mugs. That's all I got. Until next time, I'm Scott. I'm an American in Bangkok. Choke D. La jerk and my. Let me see if I can do this here. Yeah. All right. See you guys later. I'm not going to put the music on.